Hey everyone, and welcome to Gloom Falls on Baldur's Gate, episode 5. And my goodness me, we've had a lot of trials and tribulations, and the last episode ended with a lot of stuff going down. So, looking forward to diving back into our Dungeons & Dragons campaign. Thank you for joining us. If you aren't aware of what we're doing, we're playing Dungeons & Dragons, which is a tabletop role-playing game. The players arrayed around me all play characters in a shared fantasy universe. The character sheets are on the left-hand side of the screen, as you can see over there, if you fancy taking a look at what they do. And take a special look today, because they've all leveled up.
Yay!
Oh no. Oh, exciting. But we'll get to all of that when they talk about their characters in a second. Anyway, those characters can do things. The things they do tend to be decided by the fate of a 20-sided dice roll. And 20s are good, 1s are bad. So feel free to boo and or cheer, depending on the situation at hand. And I play everything else. I also roll 20-sided dice and 100-sided dice and all the other dice. I roll all the dice. And yes, in return for that, the world will do things and interact with them as they make their choices and make their way through this world. Often weather. I seem to often be the weather, which is why the villain in this campaign is a kind of weird, magical weather. You're welcome. Anyway, let's meet all of the players and all of the characters as we go around the table. If you'd like, please give your name, your pronouns if you wish, your character's name, their pronouns, and one thing you gained as part of leveling up, and maybe a bit about why you chose it. It'll be a fun one today, I think. Let's go around the table, starting today with George.
Hi, I'm George. I use he, him pronouns, and I am a writer and such. And I am playing Ashra Beckett, or Ash sometimes, who uses she, her pronouns, and is a wizard and such. She's an abjuration wizard, and I'm very terribly much excited by the fact that I'm, for the first time as a player, getting to play around with 6th-level spells. So I have chosen the most wizardy of wizard spells, which is Contingency, and I look forward to doing fun, ridiculous, wizardy things with that.
Splendid. I look forward to how those scupper my plans, because that's what Contingency is. It's DM nightmare spell is what it is. I'm aware, George. I'm aware. Good stuff. And next on my list is Rebecca.
Hi, I am Rebecca. I use she, her pronouns. I am playing Persephone, who is a human shadow monk. She also uses she, her pronouns. I don't choose anything, because I'm a monk, so I just leveled up because I don't have clever spells. I just hit things, but I now hit things harder, and I can turn invisible because I'm so shadowy. I'm just invisible now, so I'm really excited to be invisible and punch things really hard.
Great, thank you very much, Rebecca. David.
Hello, I am David. I go by he, him. I'm a voice actor and such, but not screaming Lord such. I play Aldrin, who is a cleric of Timora, now the Unmasked. And in leveling up, well, I have more spell utility, so that gives Aldrin more opportunity to do as Aldrin does, which used to be sneaky shit and kind of still is, but is now on behalf of his party rather than purely himself.
Is this you saying that you took healing spells?
I mean, yeah, maybe, possibly.
Splendid stuff. Evie.
Hi, I'm Evie. I use she, her pronouns, and I am a fashion icon and such in my dreams. Nowhere else. And I am playing Silver Meladata, who also uses she, her pronouns, who is a Dampier Phantom Rogue. And as a rogue, I also don't choose much when leveling up, but it is now impossible for me to roll below a 24 on acrobatics and stealth. So...
it is possible to roll a nat 1. That doesn't count with reliable talent.
It doesn't?
No, nat 1s are still nat 1s.
That's a frustrating loophole.
Still, you are more. The talent is more reliable. I think that's the best way.
25% of the time it works. 24 all of the time.
That doesn't make any sense, George. Good,
doesn't.
Right.
You're the wizard.
Hi, I'm Emma. I use the pronouns M or Emma. I'm playing Trix, who uses the pronouns Trix or D. Trix is a sort of were-leopard barbarian warlock who was mostly warlock and is now still mostly warlock but has one extra level of barbarian, which means that I get advantage on dex saving throws. You're welcome.
You also have reckless attack.
Oh yes, I have reckless attack,
which
and I
is not.
am now attacking with strength instead of charisma, because that seems worth it. Even though it means that things are going to hit me more often, and I'm not resistant to most of the things Chris is hitting me with, so I'm just going to die more.
One more level to go, and you're more likely to crit on one of your eldritch smites.
What's actually going to happen now is that I'm just going to die more. So also, you're welcome.
Good thing David took healing magic. Right, lovely. And I'm Chris, and I'm your DM. and such, and I use they them pronouns. Hello. Right, this stream will run for approximately 3 hours, and there'll be a roughly 5-10 minute break somewhere near the middle. It's all improvised, so you'll have to bear with as we try and find a good moment to go and take our wee breaks. We have some lovely sponsors and supporters. You can see them arrayed all around the screen above us and below us and around us. I said that. It was around. Around covers all of those, Chris. Well done. Language. Anyway, Hero Forge up there, you can see, are one of our lovely sponsors, and they make wonderful minis, which you can see rotating next to the players as we speak, and during their character intros as well, and in combat, so you can see whose turn it is and all the lovely things that those minis can do. We designed all of those on Hero Forge, on their character creator. You can see our YouTube videos. Hopefully there'll be a link in chat to those right now, where we made all of these lovely characters. And those minis are 3D models, but they exist as 3D printed models as well. There are miniature printed minis. This is not one of the in-game ones, this is a different one, but as you can see, this mini has been printed, and has been printed in colour, no less. So Hero Forge allows you a way to make your own unique mini using their character builder, and it prints in colour. It allows for all sorts of other cool effects now. There's lighting effects as well. You can put characters on horseback, in wheelchairs, anything you like, basically. So if you want to design your character today and have a mini of them, head to heroforge.com. We're also sponsored by Ultra Pro. Ultra Pro are all about physical tabletop accessories, so dice boxes, dice trays, character sheet folios. What are these mats called? They're meant for Magic the Gathering.
Playmats.
They mean that you
there's all
can
playmats.
actually pick cards up off the table, which is very important when you're playing card games.
I mean, I use mine as a mouse mat.
And you don't have fingernails.
Yes. But yes, they have a lot of amazing things on their site that you can buy, including, today I'm going to show you a figurine of adorable power. This one is a Flumph. Look at that one. Adorable. But yes, you can get these on their site as well, and we absolutely adore these. If you join us in chat today, there's a chance of winning a gift card via random draw, which we draw from all of the people in chat, so gotta be in chat to take part. You know what to do. Mods, say hi. There we go. We are also supported by Elderwood Academy. They sponsor us with their beautiful dice boxes, and Emma's showing off one that Emma has there. We've had some bespoke ones made for us by Elderwood Academy, which are on their way to us right now because they're being designed by you. Wow.
That was bound to happen. They do actually stay in pretty well, but I'm just clumsy. But this is a mini dice set, and they are really small. They're cute.
Anyway, as I was saying, they are making bespoke pieces for all of us, but they are being designed by you, the audience. If you head into chat right now, there is a link which is command or exclamation mark Elderwood Construction, and today you'll be making a lovely dice box, dice tray, dice tower. We're not sure what it is, but something cool for Evie. Or Silver.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
It's me!
Who else was it going to be? Everyone else is gone! Apart from me. But, you know.
Keeping track. Not my job.
But yes, today make something nice for Evie, or make something nice for Silver, or both, depending on how you want to do it. Evie, any particular notes for what sort of thing you're looking for? What sort of thing Silver would like?
If you're making it for Silver, just really edgy, like dark stuff, put a raven on it if you can. If you're making it for me, chaotic. Just the most chaotic thing you can imagine. Doesn't matter if it's ugly.
Great, well there you go, chat. Those are your notes. Please go and make some lovely things for Evie, and then once they've all been made and sent to us, we'll be able to show them off on stream. Hopefully relatively soon. So yes, head to elderwoodacademy.com for your own versions of that. And if you make the nice thing for Evie today, I think there's a code there as well, so you can get some money off making your own thing for yourself. So what reason not to check it out? We're also supported by D&D Beyond. They do us our digital character sheets, you can see on the left-hand side of the screen, and are incredibly useful for everything to do with playing the game digitally, so do check them out. We're also supported by Level Up Dice. They've given us these wonderful table shakers, which is our dice range which they've given with us. These are the massive metal anodized D10s they've given us. There are also D20s in the range. If you fancy some of those, there's a link in chat right now. Check them out. We're also supported by Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms and Warriors of Waterdeep, which are two D&D video/mobile games. So if you want to play more D&D on your video game device, how old do I sound?
Your
on your
phone,
video game device.
Your phone,
My
Chris.
God.
Your phone.
Or on your phone, that's also an option. Yeah. If you fancy playing D&D video games, and they are both fantastic fun, can recommend. There's more information about them with the there's codes on the bottom of the screen where you can find out more about them and download the game. And there are also codes for Idle Champions. That's a code you enter into your chest screen. And for Warriors of Waterdeep, it's a code where you get a link and click on it on your device. So if you're watching Twitch on your phone, click that link and you'll get some free gems. So recommend using those as well, because they're both very useful for playing the game to get all of the extra bits that you need to make your characters really sing and dance. Anyway, that's it for our sponsors and supporters.
We can't promise that they'll sing and dance. They will.
Some of them do.
Attack, though.
Well, yeah. They are combat games. Let's not kid ourselves. But yeah, it's lovely that they.
A form of dance. Attacking.
To let the swashbuckler rogues. Anyway, we are Roll Together RPG on all socials. There'll be links in chat. Do like, follow, subscribe, join, tweet, share, all those things. What do you do on Instagram? Like.
Post,
yeah.
Share, comment.
Do you share on Instagram? I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, you share to your story.
Interact. That's a catch-all.
Look, I'm glad there are people who do our social media for us because I am too old for this stuff. That's just the way it is. Massive thank you to our D20 Club. That's our Patreon. You can join us. There is a link in chat to that as well. From just £1 to $1 sort of thing. You can unlock more tiers by joining us and join our club of lovely words. What is it with me in words today?
Yes, or the Club of Words.
The Club of Words. Join our club of lovely friends, our Dice Heads, our D20 Club, and find out more about what we're doing slightly in advance than everyone else. Maybe you'd like to know what's happening. Anyway, yes, check them out on our Patreon. Links in chat. If you prefer to watch what we do or listen to what we do as podcasts, we have podcast versions of the show, which you can find on your favourite podcasting app, where all good podcasts are available. Just search Roll Together RPG. And there again, there'll be some links in chat if the mods are doing their job properly. Looking at you, mods. Yeah, that's what you like that. Cool. Lovely. Finally, we play with a diverse group of players. We play a diverse set of characters with wide-ranging sexual and gender identities. Our tables are trans-positive, and we encourage and champion trans players, characters, and DMs in our streams. The players and DM may portray characters that are of a different gender to their own, and we aim to avoid misgendering, but appreciate it does sometimes happen and have a policy in place for correction should the need arise. If you think we've missed anything, do let us know. Drop us a message in Twitch chat or send us a message to our email. Again, there'll be links everywhere if you need to get in touch with us about anything at all. Right, well, I think it's time for Gloom. Everyone ready for Gloom? I'm gonna have some Gloom?
No.
Okay, it's time for Gloom.
Today, please.
I mean, only if we can punch it.
Last time on Gloom Falls on Baldur's Gate, the party made their way to the Maladata Stronghold, a seeming mansion underneath the Jubilant's Night Bar, a thing that George made and I have now co-opted into my own horrific vampire den. Anyway, in said Jubilant's Night Bar, underneath it, they found that Silver's father, who they were hoping would be able to give them some advice and guidance, had been killed by his child, LaRouche. It's a party of lovingly called LaDouche. I'm okay with it.
Lovingly and accurately.
Accurately.
So they used a programmed illusion to trick you all into being there as a ritual that they had prepped earlier came into effect, and the first portal to the negative energy plane and the first attempt at creating the gloom began. You managed to defeat the strange entity that made its way through the portal, that is Zeg Yi, for those D&D aficionados who want to dig real deep into the lore. And in doing so, managed to survive, just, very, very close in certain places. And now the gloom seems to be existent in this room where you have managed to defeat this enemy. It appears to have a very distinct, edge at this point in time. And Silver, you had made your way to your old childhood room, which your father had lovingly kept for you, exactly the same state as it was. Seems as good a point as any to rejoin the party. Now, because rules around leveling up and long and short rests are complex, let me very quickly say you have had a short rest. You are in the process of having
cool.
one. So if you want to roll hit dice, you're more than welcome, and your short rest abilities recharge. If you are leveling up, you are leveling up, the things that are available to you now are available to you now. So, for example, you have a higher hit point max if you want to roll hit dice up to it. If you gained new spells that you learned, you have them in your spell books now. If you gained new abilities, they kick in immediately.
Sweet.
Yup. And if you've got any edge cases where you're like, can I do this, but I'm not sure if I can do that, just ask. It's totally fine.
You would want to roll hit dice, Chris. No one lost all their health. It's fine.
Has
You
it
chose to punch a thing made of negative energy. Don't look at me.
has it already
It
been,
worked.
Has it already been long enough that I will be back up to full health, or is that just
Well,
slowly?
you heal 5 hit points a round because you're a were creature, so yeah, I would say that you... And I mean, you would heal 50 hit points in a minute,
Yeah.
so I think you're probably fine.
I'm going to take... Yeah, cool. I've some arcane recovering to get some spell slots back as well.
Round.
Just slowly,
I
like
love-
all of the cuts are like sealing back together.
Absolutely.
Similarly, channel divinity, get a spell slot back.
Exactly. All of that.
I
Thanks,
love
Tamora.
that.
What was
This
that?
is completely not relevant, but I'd just like to point out that I have 69 hit points.
Nice, nice. Wish I had 420.
Oh,
420 hit points? I mean, I appreciate the sentiment, but
it's a meme number, Chris.
I
It's a
know.
slightly out of date meme number
I'm
as well.
aware of
but
the slightly
still.
out-of-date mean number, and it's still way too many. Cool. Right.
Introduced to my friend Polymorph.
Ashra, Percy, Aldrin, you were all in the room where the gloom happened. The
I
room
want
where
to
it
be in the
happened.
room where it happened. Yeah. We
You
did
have
not want to be in the room where it happened, actually.
The gloom where it happened.
You've defeated the Zegi, which you don't know what that is. You defeated something, and there is, as described, this orb-like radius to the gloom. It's about 30-foot radius, so about a 60-foot diameter, so it fills a good 2/3 of this room. Inside this orb, what was originally what looked like a sort of black dot, which then sprouted tentacles and started, well, not fighting, but damaging all of you just by sheer existence. That orb has vanished because you defeated it, but the space inside this radius, this orb, has become darker and darker and darker over time, and any light that was glowing from inside it, any continual flames on the walls in the sconces as described, you don't know if they've been cancelled out or if they've just stopped being able to penetrate this. It's basically like a swirling inky black dot, about 60-foot diameter, in the centre of this room. The spectres that came through, you can still hear them occasionally inside.
Inside the orb.
Yes.
Sorry. And they came out of it sorry, just to refresh my memory, during the combat last session, they emerged from this space.
Correct, they did, but they couldn't leave the radius of the gloom.
Well, that's good.
So, I had a question. I can't do any arcane-y, divine-y, clever things.
No.
But I would like to maybe have a look and see how much this inky spooky blackness looks like my inky spooky blackness.
I can do you one better. Roll me a history check.
Oh, it'll have to be intelligence based.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. Okay, that's about 17.
Okay. You, during the fight, because the adrenaline was kicking in and there were things to do, didn't make this connection. But now that you're now you're starting to settle out of it and starting to heal a bit and sit in a corner and regain some hit points and think about what you did. The creature itself was familiar to you. The same sort of creature was present during the ritual that made you a member of the pitch. It didn't look the same, it didn't necessarily have the same vibe to it entirely, but the feeling that came off it and the feeling that's coming off this orb of gloom feels very, very similar to what you do. Thinking back on the battle itself, some of the necrotic abilities, some of the way that the liquid blackness poured out of this thing and moved around is very eerily familiar to you of your abilities and what you are able to do. And if anything, you'd say your abilities are probably linked to this sort of thing with a 17.
Oh no.
Oh, yes.
Oh dear. In that case. Oh.
Were you holding that there the whole time? It's the mug from Yup.
Are you saying you didn't think I planned it, George? Come on.
Oh, no, that, no. It was the perfect, yes. Who, me?
Bother. In that case, Percy is probably going to stay sitting by the wall, maybe just watching some of her darkness pool around her fingers, and do some thinking, and not be any help to anything else that's going on. Unless someone actively asks her.
Where you absorbed a lot of necrotic damage in the last fight, which you didn't know you could do until that point. You as a player did, you as a character did not. You absorbed a lot of necrotic energy into yourself, and your tattoo started to spread a little bit. Looking at your hands, you can't see the side of your own neck, but it has spread around the neck a little further, and there are tendrils of it that are sort of crawling over the shoulders and the side. Looking down on your hands, there are points around knuckles and joints where there are sort of small, almost like wisps of it as well. They're a bit more dappled.
I don't like that. Okay.
I've got a teacup
Percy's
prepared this time.
fine. Percy's in the corner. She's fine.
Good. Aldrin, Ashra, what are you up to?
I'm definitely... Go on, Aldrin. Go on, David.
I was just wondering if I would notice anything different about Percy.
Your passive perception is 33, of course you do. You notice all of that.
Just raise an eyebrow. We'll discuss this one later on. There's more immediate gloom.
Yeah. Similarly, I assume Asher has made the connection, but is not asking about it right now, but is instead going to actually look at the...
What's your investigation, because you were helping heal up a
passive,
little bit.
passive, or do you want me to roll for something? I want to investigate the gloom anyway. But,
You're investigating the gloom, but what's your passive for checking?
Passive
Because you didn't actively check in
investigation
on
is
Percy.
15, passive perception is 16.
I would say you started to notice that the tattoo has spread a little, but the detailing
Oh,
of that
I
and
meant
how
more
much it
just the
connects.
broadest, like the connection between the negative energy stuff, like that part. Like,
I'd say you could start to logically infer, but not
yeah, I'm not going
specifics
to
yet.
raise it with Persephone now, but that's definitely like, hey, that's definitely a thing worth thinking about and talking about later. But I would like to, and I will, if we have time, and if I think it'll help, I will ritual cast detect magic. But otherwise, I'd just like to make an investigation of the great hole in reality.
You've got time because you are effectively short resting, so I will say detect magic and an investigation or an arcana with advantage is fine. Aldrin, are you involved in this? Are you helping, or are you doing something different?
Yeah, I think the gloom is probably the most pressing issue. So Aldrin would be looking to help from a different perspective to the arcane. So looking for any evidence of divine magic, or if the gloom starts to grow or that sort of thing. Cast detect evil and good.
Great. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you cast detect evil and good, and if you roll me a religion check, which I know is not your strongest suit, but it's the closest one I have. It could be investigation as well if you like. Actually, I'll give you that.
I mean, they both suck.
Sorry.
That's all right.
I want to know things. You're playing an intelligence 10 character.
Yeah, I mean, Owl's Wisdom's a thing, but Detect Evil and Good is a lovely concentration spell, so let's see what the dice give us. Yeah, that's a bugger all. It's flat 5.
Flat 5. Okay. I'll still give you stuff from the Detect Evil and Good. George, what was your investigation?
Arcana with advantage? Is
Absolutely,
that
yeah.
I will roll it. Oh, look at that. It's a natural 20 for a 29.
Woo!
What have we done to George?
I know. The other dice was a 16. That's I feel worried now. I'm definitely going to die this session, aren't I?
The dice gods have spoken. Right, well then, prepare yourself for a glut of information, I guess.
Yes, or dump.
What we'll start off with is Aldrin's Detect Evil and Good. Aldrin, this orb, your Detect Evil and Good detects that it is negative energy, and detects, in a Detect Evil and Good sense, it's definitely radiating some severe amounts of evil. However, you have very high wisdom scores, you have very high insight and very high perception. It's not that it is evil or malicious or has intent, it just is, and if anything, there's a slight shiver down your spine at this. It's not that it is... It's not looking to grow out into the world, it's not looking to expand, it's not looking to do anything aggressive or forward, it just exists as a space of pure negative energy, of death, of decay, of destruction, of non-existence. It is unnerving in its simplicity.
There's no sentient malevolence that I can sense.
None at all.
It's
You can occasionally
just
sense a
thing.
spectre.
Yeah.
You can sense the spectres on the inside as well, which do have malevolent intent. It's let me into the real world, let me consume. Like, spectres have a very definite sense and need, but they can't leave the sphere of this anyway. You occasionally get a slightly sort of darker wave off it, as if something very big and very terrifying from inside the negative energy plane passed it by. But
I will back up slightly and glance at Ashra. Be like, any ideas?
Ashra has the gif of the brain exploding at the moment. Ash. This is a hole to the negative energy plane. It just is now. It exists in space and time, and it's a deletion. Whatever was in that space beforehand now is now part of the negative energy plane and is probably gone forever.
Cool.
The negative energy plane is pure negative energy, and it will literally absorb all life, all light, all everything. Doesn't matter whether it's good or evil. It's almost unimportant to it. It just exists to absorb everything about it. With a natural 20, you reckon that undead things, which you have a lot of knowledge and experience of, would be bolstered by it, or would be comfortable existing within it because it is, everything about who they are. Looking at this as well, you can tell that it is stable. It appears to have been created as part of a ritual and appears to be stable and completely stable as it is. You connect this back to the spell description you were reading from the stuff you got underneath the Bormal house as well. You reckon that this is one. They were trying to make another the first time that Percy interrupted that ritual as well. And you can also, with a natural 20, put this all together. Creating one creates one space. Creating two creates two spaces. The more you create, the easier the rituals will be to make more of them, and the larger they'll be able to expand. Okay. These are all stepping stones. Dark, inky black stepping stones.
It's stable, which is impressive in the circumstances. I think this is a start. It's only one piece. We stopped the ritual under the Bormal house, but I do not get the sense that was the ritual and that this is a replacement ritual. This is just one piece in a wider puzzle, and they're weakening the barriers.
You mean there may be more places where this is happening?
Happening or to happen. Assuming they can't marshal enough resources to do this simultaneously everywhere.
With a nat 20, I'll give you this as well, George. Sorry, I should have been clearer on that. Manzorius' death was the catalyst. Yeah. Because Manzorius is a very powerful undead. It would take big undead, big necromantic rituals, big unhallowed effects. It would take big things to do this. This wasn't just I cast the spell and I walk away. Whoever casts this, it will have taken a lot out of them as well. It is something that would be difficult to replicate repeatedly.
Death, a gesture at the chair. The bodies we saw before, perhaps, it needs feeding, the ritual. It's not trivial to accomplish, but it strikes me that it will get easier as they weaken the barrier between this plane and the negative energy plane.
Do you know if it needs undeath or just death?
Isla said when we saw her that the deaths were going towards feeding, so possibly just every one the pitch kills goes towards it.
The energy of death, not necessarily undead or living, but it seems that one powerful undead was a substitute for many living, which I don't think there are many with his power who could act in this way or act in this role in the ritual, so it stands to reason that their damage will not be so contained in the future.
Is it magical in origin?
I assume so, yeah. Yes.
Aldrin will back up 5 feet and, more in hope than expectation, cast Dispel Magic.
Sure.
Worth a shot.
Roll me the d20 roll that comes on top of a Dispel Magic, because it's a larger spell effect than a level 3 spell.
Tamora! Bring me some chains. Is it a
it's an ability check roll with your spellcasting modifier. Not modifier, fine. No, it's just your spellcasting ability modifier. You don't add your proficiency.
So, just a wisdom check, basically?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to use luck, because I suspect that's not going to be enough. That's a 14 thus far.
Mm-hmm.
Am I adding my +5 whiz, or is it just a flat D20?
You add your +5.
Okay, cool. Well, I mean, let's see. Better. Nah. That's exactly the same roll. What are the odds?
Shame.
Yeah.
Watching Aldrin do... Go on, yeah.
Please, go ahead.
I was going to say, watching Aldrin do this, so I get the sense that it might be possible, just exceedingly difficult.
As Aldrin reaches out and tries to dispel magic on this inky, glowing lot, Aldrin, what does your dispel magic look like?
Essentially, it's because this is negative plane. I'm just holding up my holy symbol, and you can see the kind of pain racking Aldrin with the amount of power that he's trying to channel, and just a beam of light kind of pressing out against it. Very much that kind of Harry Potter effect, where it's sort of slamming into each other.
As the beam of light hits the gloom, it is absorbed into it. It, like a plug hole, just disappears inside it. Ashra, with your arcane knowledge, it's not just that this is difficult, it may be impossible.
Well, shit.
How sure am I? If there's even the smallest possibility that it might be possible.
Roll an Arcana check.
Okay.
I was about to say flip a coin. I have no idea why I was about to say flip a coin, but part of me thought flip a coin was going to be closer to... I don't know.
That's a 15.
15? You don't know.
Okay. If given I'm not certain, if I cast my own dispel magic, can I help Aldrin with? I mean, I guess I can just do it myself because I have a better
You can be
modifier.
doing it yourself, it's everything.
I will also cast dispel magic. For the sake of flavor, I will, rather than just casting my own instance of the spell, I will wrap my threads of arcane magic around this beam that he's projecting.
Sure, no problem.
So it's this blue abjuration magic, which is now my focus.
That's a lovely visual. I like that.
Yeah, it's very nice.
I will roll. I do get proficiency on this because I'm an abjurer.
You're very good at this.
Oh, it's only a total of 20, so it's not what's better. But I'm assuming that's not going to be enough to do anything.
It's a total of 20.
Yeah.
As your spell effect wraps around Aldrin's spell effect and bolsters it, and this sort of like draining down a plug hole effect of the light, it strengthens, and the area around the gloom starts to glow with a combination of the blue and the yellow intermingling almost. And you can feel it starting to shrink down. You are pressing in on it and shrinking it down. But the moment that you start pushing against it, a force is pushing back very, very strongly. You feel like you could potentially hold this, potentially roll more ability checks to see if you can maintain this. At the moment, you're not managing to shrink it significantly.
I'm willing to give it a go. Can I?
Of course.
Will it? I mean, mechanically it doesn't. But unless this is a 5th level spell effect, mechanically casting a higher level dispel magic that makes no difference.
You'd have to cast a spell again effectively. And,
I'm willing to cast this. Yeah, cast the spell fraction anyway.
There's no point casting.
Fine. I mean, I have to spend a 4th because I'm out of 3rds now. But
if I can help with that by also casting again, I'm happy to.
Why not?
See, I love this idea of us both kind of straining against this.
Yeah, I was imagining sweat beading, like actual physical effort being involved, like a contest of wills.
We're gonna need a bigger boat!
I spent a 4th level spot because I have to, because it's my 3rds, and I will roll another check. I'm making this with advantage because David's...
if you want to make it with advantage.
Do you want to make your own if you want? I think, measuring it's better that way, but I don't mind.
It is up to you.
It's better to. I mean, I've got a +5 as well, so
I've got +9 because I am proficient in this.
In which case, can we flavour it that effectively I'm sensing that Ashra's cast is more powerful and therefore trying to use mine to enhance that beam.
Ashra's an abjurer. Ashra is a specialist in this kind of magic, and you can sense that, and you're very welcome to support rather than to bolster rather than actually.
It certainly fits my role as a support
absolutely.
figure.
That's a relief because my first roll was a 1.
Ooh, George is back.
That's only there we go. That's only slightly better. That's a 21. As in like slightly better than the first time around. So it's not. Yeah, still mediocre dice rolls.
As you are dragging the forces in, and you are managing to pull it in, the pressure against it is very, very strong. You are able to shrink it back to the same inky orb that was originally there, the first one that you saw. You managed to pull it back to that point. And you can now keep casting spells to maintain it at that point, but that core nugget there, that core piece of it, that is that, as far as you can tell, there is no way to fix that.
And this is one of many we assume potentially or likely to be.
One will be at least, yeah.
You get Ashra gets a sort of a look of desperation from Aldrin, just like
Yeah, I think I'm shaking as well, just like physically, like, I think this is as far as we can push it.
Yeah. I'm
Okay,
struggling here.
on 3. 1, 2, 3, drop spell.
Down to the knees.
Yeah. The small dot stays, and you can see it is slowly starting to expand out. Again, very slowly. We're talking centimeters a second, like not quickly.
Well, that's something.
Could you?
Just in case it matters, because I don't trust you, DM. Once Percy's seen Aldrin and Ash actually like get over themselves and do something useful, Percy will also get over herself and just put herself in the doorway of the room and keep a watch for anyone coming in, and is just going to be holding a defensive.
Roll me a perception check.
Okay. Just because, if anyone, Chris, was going to go, and suddenly it would be you. That is a 19.
As you head towards the doorway, the wall of force that was active is still active. That hasn't moved. And as you move towards it, looking through it, you can't see anyone through it. If you listen out carefully, you think you might be able to hear footstep briefly, but you can't see anything because it's a stairway going up.
Cool. I will stay there and watch the backs.
That's fine. No problem at all.
The good news is it can be interacted with, but it's too much right now. Unless we find another way.
Well, at least we slowed it for now. But
It was created by a powerful negative energy catalyst. Perhaps there's some similar catalyst, or the inverse thereof, we can find and harness for ourselves. But that's a tall order.
honestly, Asher, I'm kind of impressed that the two of us could do anything against a spell that took this much power to create. But I agree, it's all we can do for now without more answers and allies.
Silver, Trix?
Yep.
You were in the middle of, Trix consoling Silver about Silver's father being dead, and you're sort of away from the party in Silver's old childhood
we were
room.
walking down a corridor.
Mm-hmm.
I'm holding Silver's hand in consolation and carrying a fluffy Jethro.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
At the
It's
moment,
like yay big, so it's pretty
under
beastly.
one arm, like a sort of
Yeah.
fairground toy.
Okay. Silver, where are you heading?
We're heading back to the main room, just to see if I can get a trinket or just say goodbye in a way.
Okay. You can head back and be there as they're finishing off this ritual. That's totally fine. So you step back into the room as the gloom sort of
through the hole.
through the
that
hole
I
you punched. Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to punch a hole in your wall.
It's fine. No one's going to be living here for a while, it looks like, so it's alright. Plus, new doorway.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go see Baldur.
Yeah.
Let's kind of sidle up to the corpse
Okay.
of my dad.
As you both step back into the room, the others are sort of finishing off this ritual they were casting, and Percy's guarding the door. But you can both step around to Manzorius' throne, where your father's body is stake impaled into it. His eyes are closed because Percy closed them. His expression is shocked. He's still wearing his formal regalia, so quite sort of deep purples and waistcoat and robe. He's been staked through the heart, so he is dead. He was already dead, but he's now no longer undead. You know that if you take the stake out, the body will just desiccate to vampire dust, to ash. If there's anything particular you want with the body, what would you want to do?
Does he have any rings on his fingers?
Yeah, he does. Like, we're talking a couple of rings on each hand, mostly quite expensive, and signs of status and wealth more than anything else. You do note that your father had a pendant, which was a magic item. Your father had a sword that was magical. Both are gone.
Wasn't enough that he had to kill him. What they had to kill him. they also had to take his stuff.
They are, in fact, a douche.
They are the douche.
The amulet in particular, allows the wielder, the wearer, some control over this sanctum, like putting walls of force on certain doors.
I see.
Right, okay, we are in Ledouche's house now.
Right. Do you want to...
Okay, we might need to hurry this up a little bit. I would like to take a couple of the rings,
Sure.
put them on a necklace,
Sure.
and then just kind of with a deep breath, I'd like to steel myself and take out the stake.
Sure. As you pull the stake out, it comes free quite easily, and it just comes out into your hand. The body doesn't sort of desiccate as it goes. It's literally just an Avengers style into ash, down across, and the clothes stay, but the entire body just wisps out and is gone.
This stake, it metaphorically now has Ledouche's name on it. If the time comes and I'm not there, please just grab this.
I mean, if you're not there and you've got it, that's going to be really hard, but we'll make sure that you're there.
We'll figure it out. Yeah.
Is there anywhere else you wanted to look before we...
Yeah, let's head out to his chambers, see if there's anything useful around.
Is it through the hole that I already punched, or do you want me to punch
There's
a
another
different
door.
hole?
There's a double door at the back of the hall that leads to Father's private chambers.
Let's just take the door this time.
Silver, looking at the stake that you're holding, it's not a regular, wooden stake. It is covered in arcane scribings and things that you don't fully understand. It looks like it's got more to it than just your standard stake. A vampire and it's dead. Also, just for everyone's clarity, a vampire that is staked is paralyzed. They would still need to be killed. And a stake just means they can't teleport away, they can't mist away. Like most vampires have a lot of good means of escape. A stake is a very good way of stopping a vampire from getting away, but they're still a threat.
Can I review the stake?
Sure, roll me an Arcana check.
Can I roll investigation or religion?
Roll me an Arcana check first.
Oh god. Rolls
1
2.
star, killed my best friend's dad.
Looking at it, it's clearly got arcane sigils and writing on it, but you don't understand them. You are more experienced in religion than anything else, and you can sense some of the... Looking at some of the symbology, there are symbols to a bunch of different necromantic gods with interest in the undead and interest in undead rituals that you recognise on it.
It's not your standard stake, that. I mean, I don't use stakes because they're boring, but it's not your, run-of-the-mill.
Roll me the investigation check.
Can I help?
You can help with the investigation check, that's fine.
Yes.
That's a 20 non-natural. No. Yes, 20 non-natural.
It tickles in your hands. It's silvered.
Oh, I don't like it. Take it away. No, don't want it.
Oh. Okay, I've got it now.
Someone's put silver on it. Yuck. Gross.
Hey.
How have you never had this conversation?
Well, I guess I just have it. I just have a stake now. This isn't going to cause me any trauma at all as I put it on my belt.
Cool. I'll send you the magic item. It's not great. Anyway, the doors to your father's study are at the back. This is a door that could be protected by the amulet, but it appears the door's slightly ajar.
Hey, I just push and enter.
Sure. You've been in your father's rooms before. There is a central it's also a reception room, he will see people here if he needs to pomp and circumstance it a little bit. There are doors at the back leading to a bedroom, a private area. He doesn't have a bed, but he still calls it a bedroom. There's a coffin in there. We all know what's in there. There are also other rooms off to various sides with walk-in closets and that sort of thing. This is his living space as well. It's been ransacked.
Oh.
It wasn't enough that they had to kill him, but now they are legitimately a robber as well. It's just low.
This is quite unpleasant. Should we have a look and see what's left behind?
Yeah, let's have a look through and see if there's anything salvageable.
Silver, you know this space quite well, so no roll required. As you move around the room, a lot of your father's artifacts, they're not magic items per se, but they are of historical relevance to the Maladata clan, have been taken. You know your sibling. This is them going, they're mine now because I'm in charge now. There are a couple of drawers that have been ripped open and things taken out of, but this looks to be a little more haphazard than planned. This looks to be a quick grabbing of certain things that are important, not a complete trashing.
Is there like an almanac of vampires?
In
Rolodex of
universe?
business cards.
In this room? Is there like a little black book of like, here are all the vampires? Because I would really like that.
The red pages.
I'm just imagining like a little Rolodex with all of the vampires' business cards.
No.
Is all their job title just vampire?
There isn't a little black book of vampires or a Rolodex of vampires or the red pages, but if you wanted to look at the papers on Manzorius's desk, you are more than welcome to do so.
I will.
Yeah.
Should we look at his papers?
Yeah, let's just take a little snoop.
Okay. What's your investigation?
My investigation is +8.
You do it. I'll help you.
Yes. Despite how I play her, she's actually pretty smart. Okay, so that is a non-natural 20.
Splendid.
Did you roll with advantage?
I did not. That is a natural 20, so that is 28.
Yep. Looking through the papers...
If you find anything about like a blonde vampire who goes around murdering innocent people, would you just let me know?
Yeah, it's on my radar. Not top of the list, but I'll let you know.
With a natural 20. Looking through the paperwork here, your father didn't keep a diary per se, but your father did often write sort of small scrawled notes that were to do later and things like post-it notes, but not only as modernistic. Normally in the margins of things. And going through these, there are many, many notes in the margins. It is your father's desk. The papers themselves are long-winded and complicated, mostly to do with complex land ownership deals and things like that. Your father liked to work from the shadows, didn't want to be too aggressive or barbed with people, liked things to be kept quiet and private, but also quietly, privately, completely in charge of everything. There's quite a lot of stuff here that concerns the patriarchs of Baldur's Gate, including you could piece together a list of families who are on the take, families who have been paid off, families who may be absolutely A-OK with being, controlled by a vampire clan, and also a list of those that are unaware of the situation in Baldur's Gate, who aren't powerful enough to have been bothered with, which could be very, very useful information in the long run if you want it, and I'd allow you to take enough information that could be used as blackmail or way to open doors if you need it.
We've already got the perfect piece of blackmail. We know that lady is shagging that lord.
You don't know that in character, and also, that's nowhere near as valuable as this. That's a momentary embarrassment. Anyway, so you have that, for starters. In your father's notes in the margins on some of these, you can start to piece together a little bit about what was going on. Your father was aware that LaRouche was looking to expand things. Your father didn't like that LaRouche was looking to expand things, but he also didn't want to step on their toes. There's a lot of want to give LaRouche a chance to prove themselves. Want to give LaRouche a chance to show what they can do. There is very definitely a sense of giving them opportunity, of making sure that they can try to do things and maybe look at things in a different way. This wasn't I reject my child's methods. It was more of my methods might be old-fashioned, and I'm okay with that. There's a very definite sense there of trying to support your sibling. There are also notes about you, trying to support you in what you want to learn and what you want to achieve, but also the notes about you were very clearly still very much in that father-daughter phase of you're still very young, even though you really weren't. It's just your father didn't really give you a lot of scope as an adult yet. Sorry, yes, the wrong word there. Didn't give him much scope as an adult. Looking through the notes further, there is some information about what LaRouche is doing. Some information about the way that they're looking to work with other people. A worrying interest in necromantic ritual comes up a few times. And making friends with the wrong sorts of people comes up a few times as well. Your father clearly wasn't very much in favour of mascarons or the pitch, and they don't get mentioned by name, but the inference is obvious with a natural 20, I would say. And with a natural 20, as it is important to Trix, looking through, there is a letter. It's a letter between him and, it looks like just a contact, another vampire. And there is a vampire referred to throughout as Blondie, which appears to be a sort of pet name, a code name. Your father knew this vampire. They tend to travel all over the Sword Coast, all over Faerun. It seems like there's a lot of notes on places that you've never even heard of. But what you can glean from this note is that they were in town, they were around about 2 weeks ago.
Hey, actually, this one might be of use to you. I didn't expect them to be referred to literally as Blondie, but might be a lead for you anyway.
They were here 2 weeks ago. I was here 2 weeks ago. Damn. Don't suppose I can go now, can I?
If they were here, they might come back.
That's true. We could find more vampires and I could ask them if they know of this Blondie.
Yes, that's true. You have a name. However, for the moment, I think we should be a bit more concerned with the black orb in the other room and the apparent doomsday that may be unfolding before us. Or Gloomsday, if you will.
I feel like we could maybe give them, like, equal weighting.
Trix, from this letter, which you now have, it's very clear that this person is not here right now. They were here 2 weeks ago and they were heading north. You have a trail.
North. Which way is north?
It's a shame I'm not in the room.
There is a northern road out of the city. It would be very hard to miss.
Well, I guess we better get this sorted out as quickly as possible, because then I can go north.
Yes, and... Well, could I come with you?
Yeah, of course you can. As long as you don't mind me killing... this...
Oh, no. As far as I can tell, they did something to you. I assume you have a reason to be mad at them and looking for them. I don't have much keeping me here now.
I feel like today might not be the best day to tell you about why I really want this person dead because of what's happened. But maybe tomorrow, when you're feeling better...
I'll pull you back down again.
Yep.
Get over your father's death for 24 hours, right?
It's nice to know that's how grief works.
Right. I love Trix.
I'll let you know.
While we're here, can I also see if my father, if any of his like cool ass cloaks are left?
Yeah. If you head through to the back room, your father has a walk-in wardrobe. And the clothing is sumptuous, very elegant. Lots of velvet. I mean, Manzorius, who you only ever knew as father, and frankly most of Baldur's Gate only ever knew as father, liked to wear ostentatious, vampiric, like the spiked collar stuff, all of that to represent more than anything else and to strike fear into people who met him. It was very much a presentation of vampiricism, of vampire, of I am to be feared, even though his character... outside of that context was nowhere near that.
He was, in real life, a lame vampire dad.
Had good clothes, though.
Can I grab the most quintessential Manzorius cloak and just kind of...
Absolutely, and you can describe it however you want.
Cool, I feel like it is a deep crimson with kind of like gold and black embroidery going all down it, and it's just very tasteful.
Mm.
Do you want to take any more? Because I can carry more stuff if you want.
Yeah, I need to get some of my clothes while I'm here as well. Okay, let's just grab a trunk.
I can carry a trunk.
Okay.
You find a wheelie trunk.
We pack cloaks and papers and my clothes and more of my stuffed toys.
Fine. If you're looking through this room, there is a scroll case cabinet that you knew where it was hidden and your sibling clearly didn't, which has been untouched. There are 3 spell scrolls in there. You're not an arcane caster, so you look at it and go,
I am.
roll me an arcana check.
Not good at those.
I know.
I rolled an 8. But
Scrolls with spells on them.
But I'm a warlock, Chris.
That's how it works. Arcana is a 10 plus the spells level to recognise it.
These are definitely spells.
They are definitely spells. There's no question that they are spells.
I think we know some people who like spells. Let's grab these.
I like spells.
You do like spells. But not necessarily the reading about them.
I feel like my character is being assassinated.
But yes, you find 3 spell scrolls. You can also find, it depends if you want to take them or not, but there are, rings, gems, gold, silver, maybe not so much silver, but a little bit. Quite a lot of valuable items to the tune of a couple thousand gold, which could also potentially be reworked into spell components if anyone needs them for some of their higher level spell casting.
I feel like you should put that in your chest because it's kind of your inheritance now.
Oh god, that's true. That just made this sadder. Okay, let's just... Everything we can fit in. Indiscriminately.
Cool. No problem. You're welcome to take anything you want. That is absolutely fine. Right. Meanwhile, in the main room, you have completed the ritual, and I think Trix and Silver are probably stepping back out with a wheelie suitcase. And Silver, let's say for ease.
A wheelie suitcase?
It's a wheelie chest.
Got me.
It's a wheelie chest.
That's great, yeah.
We found 3 spell scrolls. They are definitely spells.
Do you need me to look at them?
No, I've looked at them.
Oh, God.
They're definitely spells.
Let me rephrase it. I would like to look at them.
Oh, good. I was hoping you would say that. Here they are.
I'll sort of absently take them while filling Evie and Trix, not Evie and Trix, Silver and Trix. Sorry, I was reading the Zoom names in front of me. Silver and Trix, and what we learned. Well, the good news is it can be manipulated. The bad news is almost everything else. It can't be sealed as it is right now. And even then, pushing back against whatever is on the other side takes an inordinate amount of strength and effort.
It is now spreading out.
What is on the other side?
Bad shit.
Well, the negative plane of energy, but some thing or things exist there, whatever dwells there.
My soul is a negative plane of energy.
I'll just look at you.
Don't be rude to Silver. It's been a tough day.
Yeah, no. I'm just like, yep, no, I'm not going to respond to that. Not going to respond to that.
No, seriously though. Did you try talking to it?
It's not so much a thing as a force.
Would you say sort of like a mysterious entity from another plane?
It's definitely that. That is the most that I can tell you.
I can talk to those.
By all means, try.
Right. I am of the understanding that it might render me incapable of doing anything for some time.
Should you do it now? Can you wait? The bad news that is also the good news in this one specific instance is that this ritual has weakened the barriers with the negative energy plane. So I would imagine that doing it here and doing it elsewhere in the city would be similarly easy. But
I don't think it needs to be here.
That is a relief.
Should we leave? We've packed a trunk. We have everything. We have everything.
Silver, is there another way out other than through that barrier?
There are sewer exits as well. You can get the door that is sealed by a wall of force. There's now a hole in the wall. You can easily.
Oh, that's true. I didn't in my head they weren't the same wall. Yeah. You
can easily get around that problem.
I did make a door.
You did. If you wanted to go back up through the club, you could. There are other ways out that you're aware of, Silver. They all lead down into the sewers and are used as private ways in and out.
It might be better if we take the sewer way out. I don't really fancy walking through a nightclub right now.
Is there a way that we can be undetectable as we leave so they don't see what direction we're going?
I can make 4 of us invisible.
I can cover the other. How many there are there? There's 5. I can cover the other one.
I weirdly feel in my contemplation that I have suddenly gained the ability to make myself invisible.
Yep.
Well,
Oddly, somehow.
that would make life easier.
I hate to be the patron saint of negativity, but as soon as we become visible again, they gonna scry on us unless we have somewhere we can go where that ain't gonna happen.
Well,
When I've had the time to... Sorry, go on, Emma.
we've got an hour.
By some time. We should have a destination in mind that we should not speak out loud just yet, but perhaps in the morning I will be able to insulate us from some selectively occasional observation.
Just to be clear, you're going to lead us somewhere where we cannot see you, and you're not going to tell us where we're going.
No, I do not have a destination in mind, but if we do have one, perhaps it rather suborns the point of being invisible if we speak it out loud while we might be under observation.
Understood.
Chris, can you remind me how long it takes to attune to a magical item?
It would take an hour. You'd have to short rest and attune.
Apart from, they can't see you, can they, Aldrin?
No, they can't.
So you could say it.
I could if I could think of somewhere. I was thinking maybe... I mean, I'm presumably very familiar with how scrying works, right?
You are, yes.
Church ain't gonna cut it. I'm about...
I don't
Right,
like churches anyway.
You can make us invisible for an hour, is that correct? Chris, can I reasonably discern...
2 hours
Sorry.
if I cast it twice.
Can I reasonably
Pick up
discern
slack
that,
after that.
whilst invisible, it's impossible to scry? Or at least you wouldn't see the person you were scrying on?
What an intriguing question. I have absolutely no
I
idea.
presume you wouldn't be able to hear them. You
I'm
wouldn't be
considering...
able to see them.
Yeah. I'm considering doing something very non-Aldrin that nonetheless Aldrin would do in this moment.
You can see and hear a particular creature you choose. It is on the same plane distance as you. Yep. You'd be able to see where they are, but you wouldn't be able to see them because it doesn't...
It's a little camera following a patch of empty air.
Basically, yes.
So basically, yes, they would be...
They would know where you are, but they wouldn't know what you're looking like at the moment.
Can we spare another hour here before we go?
Rather just go, if that's okay.
I have a way. Look, Silver, it's you they're scrying on, okay? It's you that they know. It's you that they have, the clothes, the image. I can make it so they can't see you. It's going to be a hell of a lot harder for them to scry on the rest of us.
That's not true.
True, that's true. Yes, you're right.
What? What
I've
have I
also lived
missed?
here my entire life, and there are people specifically looking for me.
Well,
and they've seen all of
shit.
this now. It's a good thought, Aldrin, and I think you're right that Silver is the first person, but if they can't see Silver, they will look for one of us instead.
We go somewhere non-safe tonight, we stay on guard all night, and then tomorrow we go somewhere not attached to any of us, somewhere random. And someone stays on guard all night, and not a single person. I suppose I could, and that is us for tonight. And then tomorrow, we are in a better position. But for tonight, that is us.
What
we can't
about
stop this.
the bathhouse that's meant to be a safe haven?
You just said it out loud.
We're going to need to go there. They're going to be able to see us. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, we can't. We're still visible.
It's
whatever.
safe by virtue. It's safe by virtue of its status rather than any particular
Non-detection.
effect.
Maybe so. I mean, I would prefer to go somewhere defensible, but I'm happy to go with the group consensus on this. And Aldrin will just drop the amulet that he was about to give to Silver, the incredibly valuable amulet, down back against his chest.
If we can find a suitable patch of, well, anywhere reasonably safe from eyes, I can put up a defensible barrier to keep us within for a rest.
Yeah.
It will not be immune to scrying, it will not be immune to detection, but it will be very defensible.
and I'm happy to keep watch as long as I can, keep y'all safe, because rightly or wrongly, I feel like we're in this together now. Might as well see it through to the end.
I don't need a lot of sleep.
And from what I understand, a lot of Baldurian society is built upon the fact that that bathhouse is safe and you don't kill people in it. So I feel like that might be the place for tonight.
Good a plan as any.
As discussed, George, if you use the spell non-detection and you burn a spell slot to use it, then I will say that you are blocking most scrying effects throughout the day, then I will be doing roll-offs.
Sure,
which I wasn't doing the first time round because we've been obviously being scryed on, but from now on, where it necessitates.
Tactical deployment of the spell. If I burn a ton of slots, I can, in theory, cast it on everyone, but...
You don't need to go that far. I don't want to hamper you that much with enemies who can scry. Put it this way, if you cast non-detection at some point on a location where you are, or while you are talking about something, I will rule that they're not going to find you through scrying spells anymore.
That's very generous of you, Chris, thank you.
Otherwise it becomes a scrying war forever, and that's very, very dull.
I will make the four of us, excluding Persephone, invisible, because then we are harder to fight as we travel.
It's also true.
I will give Persephone advantage on stealth rolls, unless you have it already.
I have it already.
Well, I don't know that as Aldrin, so just Taimora's bless and shield you in the darkness. I'd like to, before I'm made invisible, if that's all right, I'd like to cast Sending quickly.
Sure.
Because what we found out is that the forces arrayed against us need dead bodies and life energy to fuel this magic, correct? So I'd just like to cast Sending to Irsten, if I'm pronouncing it correctly.
You are, yes.
Who is looking into things with Thieves Guild and so on, and just say, this is Aldrin, please make a note of any missing persons and let Callister know. Thanks.
Message received. That's what you get back.
All right then, let's go get ourselves a bath.
Do you think we should be, as we're walking, do you think we should be maybe heading to the cemetery next? Because if we need dead bodies, do you think they're going to be digging up dead bodies? Because that's what I would do if I need dead bodies. I would just go to a cemetery and dig up dead bodies. Not that I've ever had to do that. I was just thinking.
Theoretically, of course. My impression is that they need either an undead... I mean, correct me if I'm wrong on this, Chris, because my impression is that they need either an undead body or an undead of some power, or the living themselves. A dead body in
they
and of
were
itself.
using dead bodies as a focus with Alistair in the centre of it, which could be to do with bloodlines.
Right.
You can guess that, conjecture that fairly.
But in that case, yeah, the cemetery sounds smart.
I was under the impression that it was the act of dying rather than pre-existing death.
Bit of column A, bit of column B.
Okay. In which case, the cemetery seems like a reasonable place to be wary of if you were going to perform a necromantic ritual. Where better?
Which is also
I mean, if we're in the cemetery anyway, we could also just drop in on your friends, Percy.
I think I made my feelings about that perfectly clear, Trix.
Yeah, but I mean, we're going to have to kill them anyway, so, the sooner the better.
Ashra, can you do the maths again, please, for Trix?
Few. If we're invisible, I can't really point at us. Lots. Many. We can take limited numbers, but taking them on all at once seems contrary to our tactical advantages. Our advantage is mobility and, well, in theory, surprise if we can regain that initiative.
That is a point, though, Chris. In my head, the monastery is big, but if it's 15 people, then actually Trix's plan is a great plan.
Oh, no, it's big. Yeah,
it's big, cool.
Just
checking, I was completely misunderstanding.
Yeah, about 50 people at any given time.
But can we not, drop in through a window and then just take them on, room by room?
Assuming they... Go on.
Aldrin's making this face whilst invisible.
In one room, we might find 10 of them, and there are 5 of us, and each of them will be about as powerful as me.
Some of them would be. Some would be less, some would be still in training.
But then we're killing... Again, they take children. If you want to kill a half-trained 12-year-old...
We just tie up the 12-year-olds.
It also doesn't necessarily stop the grander plan by LaRouche. It's removing one of their collaborators. If we could pull it off, we would still have to fight the Maskian... the Mascarans? Mascarans, there we go.
Yeah.
And LaRouche and whoever follows them.
Yeah.
So if we're developing the plan... if we can't do that, can we draw out the ones you actually want to kill?
I suppose there is a plan where I send a message to Oriana telling her that I was terrified and repentant, and that I'm here to make a bargain for my life versus yours and Artemis's, and I will give all my powers back and do all the things. And there is a possibility that she would come for a meeting, just her, and we could jump on her and kill her.
Aldrin is desperately shushing you.
Yes, very much listening.
As you make your way out, the ways into the sewer are, you can tell, like, they're very carefully designed to be just like a door in a corridor, and you open it and suddenly there's like rushing water beneath you. Like, it is a designed exit. It's not like a broken piece of masonry or anything like that. And you can all step into the sewers relatively easily. Percy, what do you have to do to be invisible? Is it just a thing that happens?
I need to I use my action to become invisible when I'm in an area of dim light or darkness, and stay invisible until I make an attack, cast a spell, and I'm in an area of bright light.
This is a dim space, so you're welcome to do that now if you want. So all of you are effectively invisible as you make your way. Can you roll me stealth checks? Everyone gets advantage, so everyone's invisible.
Can I ask a mechanics question?
Yes.
If we start planning, because this is improvised and we have to plan things for this to be interesting, can it then be possible to have gone, Ash has cast non-detection, rather than just, they know everything and we can never have a conversation?
Yeah, that's useful. Yeah, I can't do it yet, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I was just thinking, like, once we have the spell.
Once the spell is prepared and George is willing to go on
I just need a
for a
list,
day.
that's it.
That's
Yeah.
fine, of course.
I rolled a 9.
My stealth roll
With
was not
advantage?
good.
Oh, yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I got a 10. So,
Wow.
with advantage.
I would have said it before, but I was asking a different question. Can I use Pass Without Trace for everyone?
Sure, why not?
Thanks.
That's our 19, and what was yours, George?
10. Now it's a 20.
20, lovely. What else we got?
41.
Evie has a face. The face of a rogue.
38.
I also got 41.
Oh, wow. So the lowest roll is a 19?
Yeah.
Great. You make your way out of the sewers. As you are passing through the hallways, Aldrin, your passive is high enough. You didn't hear any voices or anything like that, or see anybody as you passed through. The whole place looked abandoned. If you looked into a room occasionally, there were sort of chests that have been quickly emptied and that sort of thing. So people very clearly did get the heck out of here, assuming the whole place would become a, awful mess. Making your way through the sewers with those stealth rolls, you make your way through. You occasionally pass by some sewer monsters made for quite a fun encounter, but you don't need to. As you push your way through them all and can make your way back out into the lower city through, because you are now all at sort of sea level, we're doing much more like manhole covers and climbing out and that sort of thing. But you can, if Silver, you would know the way you've used these before, find a way to a safe way out, getting you back onto the streets of the lower city of Baldur's Gate.
Head towards the well house.
Mm-hmm. It is nighttime. It is dark outside. The green lights are lit, and you can make your way through the city relatively easily without being stopped. If you want to make your way to Hissing Stones, that's perfectly fine.
I mean, just a thought. You could appear in her dreams and be like, boo.
That is also a thought.
On our way, Chris, I'll be looking to just step into an alley and then come out as Lord Highmore.
Perfectly fine. You're more than welcome to do
If you
that.
cast that spell, you won't be invisible anymore.
It's not a spell. It's a effect from the armor. I don't think it counts as a spell.
Is it a disguised self spell?
No, it just changes the armor. So
Then in which
in
case
my
it
view,
doesn't.
I'd still be
Yeah.
invisible,
Yeah, it's
but
not an
it would have just changed for
You
when I
wouldn't-
become
You wouldn't
visible.
need to step into an alley because you're invisible.
Well, in that case, fine.
It's pretty force of habit, isn't it?
Aldrin is overtly cautious. That's why I'm like looking into every shadow and things. There's an element of.
I'm in one of them.
I'm
You
doubly.
don't know which.
Yeah, I'm doubly paranoid now because I have more people that I actually care about. So.
As you all... Sorry, Evie, go ahead.
I was just going to say, just as flavour, throughout the entire walk, other than directions, Silver is just completely silent. There's occasionally a little sniff or a hiccup, but just not saying much at all.
You occasionally feel an invisible pat on your shoulder.
Thank you.
Pulling the wheelie trunk.
Do we just look like a wheelie trunk?
Yeah. An arcane trunk.
I'm going to say, for the sake of everyone's mental health more than anything else, that it's cobblestones, but this trunk just doesn't make much noise on cobblestones.
It's designed for maximum vampiric
If the
like
trunk is
styling
making
out.
noise, I will pick it up.
Okay, fine. Maybe you need to do that on the
All that.
cobblestones. Yeah. You make your way through the lower city. You don't seem to be being observed or bothered. You do occasionally see city guard moving around, as at night time they tend to be higher in number, but nothing too major, especially with those stealth rolls. As you pass your way through, you can make your way to the western side of the city and get to Hissing Stones if you want to. That's perfectly fine.
Do they have? We've assumed they have rooms that you can book, like it's sort of an all spa where you can stay rather than just
you can
like day
stay
spa
for
type thing.
extended periods, and you can use rooms for an extended period that aren't. It isn't designed for places to sleep, but because it's also a safe house, you know.
Someone probably need to prompt me that we need to be visible again.
I mean, an hour will have passed by the time you arrive there, I'd say.
If we became visible on the walk, I'd just have cast it again.
I think it will probably come to an end right as you arrive, as fortuity would have it.
I guess I'll 5, please.
I would not be entering with everybody because if Lord Highmore appears with everyone, I'd be giving it 5 minutes before coming in. And then he's trying to do the whole, oh, it's you from the party. Because that just makes sense. I'd also take off my amulet because if some other randomer appears who's undetectable, it's kind of obvious. Right?
Fair. Yeah, it is. Yeah, you take the amulet off, it's no problem. You untune to it. But yes, Ashley, you step in. Oh, hello, you were here earlier.
Yes. Now we're here again with more people to stay.
Well, marvellous. Well, you're welcome to have room for the 5 of you for... How long do you need it for?
4 of us.
4 of you, apologies.
Just overnight, I believe.
Oh, I can do a room of that for, what is it, 8 to 9 hours? There's a knowing smile.
It's adventurers. Yes, that will suffice, thank you.
Splendid. Well, you can pay for it, Asher. You are wealthy.
Drop the platinum card on the...
Do you have wine or whiskey? Or
we can certainly provide beverages if that's what you're looking for. There is a surcharge.
Anything that just comes in a normal glass with a single alcohol with nothing else in it.
A single alcohol. Well, I'm sure we can arrange all of that for you.
Yes.
Please do respect the rules of Hissing Stones, and please leave all weapons, magical items, anything of any kind like that in the lockers provided.
Can I just pop my knuckle dusters out of existence?
Marilyn has no idea that you have knuckle dusters out of existence, so wouldn't know.
Yes.
Would magical items extend to things like scrolls if I wanted to look at them during the rest? I guess spell book a magic item.
I would say that
rules.
for the purposes of this sort of thing, it's weapons in particular that get left, and it's armor in particular that gets left. If you're carrying an unobtrusive amulet, no one's going to go, no, not that. Or if it's like taking in a thing full of spell scrolls, no one's going to go, ooh, not those.
Right.
You will get a sort of stern looking out of, please no casting at Hissing Stones, of any kind.
Understood.
Thank you.
No spellcasting.
If you can keep it private within your room, we have no problems with it, but big fireballs going off are a big problem for our business, and the guild would look unfavourably on that.
But you don't mind if I contact a god somewhere?
Well, I'm going to go and pretend I didn't hear that comment and just rather unobtrusively leaves you all.
Just going to turn to Asher and be like, was that a yes or a no?
Yes, it was yes or a no. You're fine as long as we keep it within the spirit of the rules, which is not conducting business in that sense. Nothing, no interfering with others, none of that.
I mean, I can't cast fireballs, so,
Just as well.
In this situation, and in general.
Do I need to take off my amulet of warning?
No, you're fine with stuff like that. Like it's more like, leave that magical greatsword, please. This is a bathhouse. You will be given robes to wear, and sort of they're quite comfortable. They're not too shiny or too flashy. They are just sort of white terry, basically.
I refuse to take off my new cloak.
Okay, you're wearing a robe with a cloak.
It's gonna get wet, Silver.
I don't care. I'm not taking it off.
Okay.
You are shown to a private room. It has sort of wooden benches around the outside, a sunken pool in the centre that can be warm or cold if you want it.
Get straight in the water.
Okay. But you are all welcome to wait there, basically.
Yes.
Have a moment.
I'd like to kick us off by I want to cast Leomund's Tiny Hut, which I think means climbing into the middle of the pool to get the centre there. So just like hold up my robe to balance the spellbook very carefully on the outside of the water from a distance.
I mean, George, the pool's deep enough to sit in, but it's also like you'd be standing. It'd be a very weird look. You'd be Donald ducking with the robe to do it.
I guess it's a swimming costume situation.
Got in the water and is like spread out as much as humanly
just
elfinly possible.
Left a bit. Yes.
Fine. You're welcome to tiny hut the inside of the space if you want to. There'll be some edging that you lose, but no big
yeah, that's
deal.
fine. Yeah. All the others can move in and out as they need to.
Cool. Fine. Cool. As you are doing that in this room, and as it is set, you are able to rest in this room if you so choose to.
Would it be a good idea to contact a god today or tomorrow or another day or later or did you know that the vampire that I'm looking for is called Blondie? That's new information that we didn't know before just now.
I'm really confused. Is the vampire you're looking for something to do with the apocalypse that's about to happen in Baldur's Gate?
No.
Right, okay.
Maybe. No. Probably not. No.
Okay.
It is important to me though.
I completely understand.
I'm pleased you found something out. That's good.
And when all of this is done, that sounds like a really useful piece of information for your next steps.
That's right. I'm going to go north. I'm pointing in the wrong direction.
I'll just slide that way. Just point over there.
Plan then sleep, or sleep then plan?
Sleep then plan, because if we plan before we sleep, then people can see us plan, right?
Yes, and maximize the information we have.
I'm gonna try and contact a god.
Thought you might. Before Trix tries to contact a god and we deal with that, is anyone else anything they want to do before long resting effectively?
As far as I'm aware, I'm still stood outside the bathhouse.
Oh yeah, that's true. Thought about that.
Aldrin, do you want to join the others?
Well, stuff happens, shenanigans happen, you're joined by Lord Highmore. Oh, hello, it's wonderful to see you all. Don't mind if I join you, do you? I'm there.
I am also here.
And I'll pop my amulet back on because they won't know that it's my spell effect. It could be somebody else that's there.
And for sake of brevity, you can then turn back into Aldrin. It's not a problem at all. Yes,
perfect.
All fine. No problem at all. Silver, Percy, Asher, I know you want to do something, but I know what it is as well, so we'll cross that bridge.
Yeah, I've got like 3 things.
Silver, was there anything you wanted to do?
Yeah, so did we already inspect the stake?
You did not. You can look at it and start identifying it. I need to send you that magical item. I'll do that for you over the break if that's okay, and it can be part of your planning for tomorrow if you want to use it.
Okay, brilliant.
Cool. Percy, anything you want to do in particular?
There is a conversation I will want to have, but possibly on watch rather than a quick thing right now.
Cool, no problem. We'll see how Trix is affected by the spell. George, wizard admin time. Wizard admin time. Come on.
This is quite simple. I'm going to reload my Sputtering Spellstorm. That's not particularly interesting. And I need, for contingency, I need a spell component. I don't have any particularly clever way of acquiring said component other than fashioning a little effigy of myself out of materials, or that I've been already working on it. In
maybe you could share this problem with the room, and maybe your friends can help you.
I will do that in a moment, because that's the more interesting bit. And I would like to look at the scrolls as well, obviously, and figure out what they are, and
I'll just
distribute them.
Roll me an Arcana check.
Straight Arcana. Just put back on mediocre rolls. With the +9, that's a 20, so that's good.
Oh, that's fine, yeah. There is a scroll of life transference. There is a scroll of magic jar.
Magic jar.
Magic jar.
Good for keeping your jam in.
Yeah.
Magic jam.
Yeah, magic jam.
That's a really cool
Delicious.
spell that you're ruining.
Or, holy water, maybe.
And there is a scroll of clone.
That's that's really interesting. Who can? Sorry, just remind me who can. I can never remember who can. Can other people use the? I know I'm the only one who can copy them, but if needs be, can a different caster use it if it's not on their spell list?
It has to be on the spell list of your class, so that you would have the ability to do it. And there is also some debate between if an arcane caster or a divine caster can use it. These are arcane spell scrolls.
Okay.
I am technically an arcane caster. Whether they're on my spell list or not is a different matter.
Clone, I think, is a wizard-only spell.
Life transference is definitely also a cleric spell.
It is also a cleric spell. That's correct.
I have a specific reason to want to hold on to that one, but
I don't need it.
Fair enough.
I do wonder how I feel about necromancy.
Yeah.
To cast clone, it's an 8th level spell slot. Currently, you couldn't do it.
Oh, can you not? I thought, that makes sense, I guess. I actually need to revise this spell.
I need to have a careful look at that, because I'm pretty sure that you can't, but maybe there's a thing that happens where you might.
I can't remember.
Magic Giant, Clone are both wizards.
Okay, yeah. Okay, that's interesting. I will, if I can, definitely copy life transference for reasons that, yes.
Okay.
And to my spellbook, which is probably really weird. Like, I probably have to use the wheelie suitcase as a desk trying to keep everything dry, because this is like the worst office in the world. And the other two,
you're right. If the spell is on your class's spell list, but of a higher level than you can normally cast, you must make an ability check using your spellcast ability to determine whether you can cast it successfully. DC equals 10 plus the spell's level.
Yeah.
On a failed check, the spell disappears from the scroll with no effect.
Oh, it's me as well. So, okay, well, that's going to be interesting. Okay, if that's right, I'll just address the room in general. I've been working on something, and I could use a small bit of assistance putting something together. I need an effigy of myself.
To put pins in?
Well, I mean, perhaps metaphorical positive pins. It's an additional layer of protection. I sort of view it as a kind of anti-entropy technique that will be quite useful, but I'm not.
Do you actually just want to give it to Percy in case you die, so that she has something to remember you by?
Is it life size?
It's the body pillow spell component. No, and no, respectively. I suppose you have my permission to take it if we do acquire one, Persephone. You may keep it.
Not discuss that. I'm more meant, are we having to carry around a life-size effigy of you with us rather than something deeply disturbing if you died?
Yeah, like, how big does it need to be? Because, like, I'm all for carrying Silver's things, but I'm not the party, like, coat rack.
Just lying back staring at the ceiling.
It is a sympathetic representation of me.
It's nice to you.
Is there soap in this room?
Yeah, there's soap, yeah.
I would like to try and whittle a little ash out of some soap.
Roll me a sleight of hand check.
Can I help? I don't. Oh no, her nose doesn't quite look like that.
Yeah, of course you can. Yeah, advantage.
Drop it in the water and it dissolves.
So that was a non-natural 20.
You have a very good soap ash.
I think I need to put gems on it as well. But this is not the character study I was expecting today. But this actually may suffice.
It's really caught your essence. Like it's got a very straight back. It's actually quite cool. Yeah, it's quite. Oh, it's not cool at all.
I retract my help if that's the
It's Rodin's Thinker with Asherah in the form, which doesn't make any sense at all.
Amazing.
I believe this will suffice. Thank you, Silver. Great. That's cool. I love it. Soap ash, I'm writing that down on my notes. And then I'll look at it next time and go, what? Why did I write soap ash on my notes?
Nice sash, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Great.
I think that's my wizard app. I will cast Contingency, which I think is not a particularly flashy effect. But I will do something that involves focusing on holding the soap ash in my. I'll probably do the sort of thinking pose while holding the thinking pose, just for effect, just for Silver.
Cute.
I appreciate it.
Very nice. Very, very nice.
And I will stash away a Dispel Magic if I get hit by something negative that will. I'll figure out the exact wording, but something like if I'm affected by a persistent negative spell effect, I will cast a 5th level Dispel Magic on myself.
By a persistent negative spell effect?
Yeah, something like a whole person or a banishment or something where it's like definitely not positive and is like not something that can be dispelled and isn't good, basically.
Sure, no problem. I think that's contingency enough for me. I like that.
You know what you need? You need a 14th level paladin that can just end those as an action.
Not playing a paladin this campaign. Speaking of which, Trix, you wanted to contact another plane. What I propose we do is we're tight on time for the half, so let's contact the other planes, see how that goes, and then do sort of watch chats after the break, if everyone's okay with that. Grand.
Works for me.
All right, Trix.
Which of my dice do I think is not going to betray me? Because the first thing I need to do is roll this bloody intelligence saving throw.
Why don't you tell the chat, tell the audience in case they don't know what Contact of the Plane does, and what you're planning on doing.
I still get to talk to them even if I fail on the saving throw, right?
I don't know.
Because it says contacting it can strain your mind. On a failure, you take the damage, and you are not right until you finish a long rest.
Yeah.
You can't take actions, can't understand what other creatures say, blah 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 blah. A greater restoration spell cast on you ends this effect.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, on a successful save you can ask the entity up to 5 questions.
There you go. So I think you'll be in contact with them anyway, but will you be able to ask some useful information?
Oh dear.
If you're able to relay the fact that in some in-character way that it's an intelligence, like this, I can help, basically.
It requires me to be smarter than I am, Aldrin.
I can potentially assist with this, and you all said this spell wasn't going to be useful, but it is. However, you see a little spiritual astral fox, which just forms out of Aldrin's hands, runs around you, settles on your neck, and then dissipates into you, and you feel cleverer, as if you have the cunning of a fox that graduated from the School of Cunning at Oxford University. And you have advantage on your intelligence. I think it's also saving throws.
No,
It's just checks.
I just checked. So is that a saving throw?
Yeah.
It's a saving throw.
What does guidance do?
It's on ability
Ability
checks.
checks. You need resistance for saving throws.
Remember how I told
okay.
you that spell was useless, David? I stand by that.
I'm going to find a way to use it, Chris, right? I'm
Enhance
going to find a way.
ability.
I
Just
like
help
it.
them.
I
Just
can think of a use for
someone.
it. You can help me cast Clone.
That's true. Yeah.
Well,
Why do you
cast,
want to cast Clone?
I mean, I don't know yet, but
I cast it in such a way that it helps rather than doing what the spell normally
Fine.
does.
I feel bolstered.
See, I very much thought that you would find a spell of Clone next to Silver's dead father and think about it.
Yeah,
Getting there.
I think he might have been a clone. Or he might have had a soul jar or whatever the jam jar one is.
Yeah, jam jars. Yeah.
Right, I'm going to roll this
Jam.
dice and decide
Daddy
whether the
jam.
spell works
Let's
or
see
not.
what happens.
Don't call it Daddy Jam.
I've rolled a 15.
Hey!
Moral support made the difference.
I have plus nothing, so I've literally rolled a 15.
Well done. Perfect.
Nice.
So you get to ask the entity up to 5 questions. Yes, no, maybe, never, irrelevant, or
I'm
unclear.
contacting the mysterious entity in the negative energy plane. And how I'm doing this is I'm sort of floating on the water, which would have been a really good place to be if I suddenly became incapacitated.
Sure.
And I'm just thinking really hard about my cat friend and asking them if they'll help me speak to the person or thing in the negative energy plane.
Sure. So you reach out to the negative energy plane and knock on the door.
Yeah. I didn't think about what I wanted from this before I did it. I just did it. Should have asked other people first. Done it now.
You feel yourself reaching out into the literal void.
Yeah.
What questions on the top of your mind?
What do you want? It's not a yes or no answer question, but it is the question I want to ask.
We'll work it out. As you reach out into the void, and just think about the part of it that you have seen and experienced, interacted with even to a certain extent. And what do you want floats around your mind. And you feel a presence enter your mind. It's big. It feels overbearing and too much, and you can what you all see as Trix is floating in the water is Trix's eyes start to cloud over in black like Percy's do and start to trickle blackness down the side of Trix's face.
It is difficult to answer your question. We want it all to end.
Why?
Because all things end. And as they end, we gain them. They become us.
If they become you anyway, why are you trying to speed up the process?
We are not trying to speed up the process. The process is inevitable. It does not need speeding up or slowing down.
It's not them. Why are you in our world instead of in your world?
Your world is full of things we aim to bring to ours. If there are places we can move into your world and bring more into ours, it is our duty to do so.
What is your weakness?
Does it have to answer? Doesn't say if it has to answer or not. I'm going to roll something.
Why do you wish to know our weakness?
Because you being in our world is killing people and things that I care about, and it's happening too fast. And if it all happens anyway, you don't need to be in our world to make it happen faster. You can wait. You can wait for it to come to your world.
Roll a persuasion check.
I've rolled a 12.
You do not understand.
No.
Life, caring, it is all temporary. Nothing lasts. Everything returns to us in the end.
No, you don't understand. The fact that it's temporary is why it's important.
We understand your position without condoning or agreeing. It is our purpose. We are creatures of the dark.
I will do everything in my power to stop you from being in my world. But I have no qualms about you belonging in your world.
All things decay in the end. It matters little to us how you feel.
It matters to me. We'll end the spell.
Everyone, Trix has been floating in the water, and the water has started to turn an inky black because pouring out of the eyes. And that's where we're going to take our break. Sure, there'll be much to discuss after that.
Hot damn.
Oh. Yes, join us in 5-10 minutes when we can find out more about what Trix just discovered, more conversations to be had, and hopefully a chance to get surprise and a chance to fight back. But more on that in 5-10 minutes. See you in a sec. Bye. And welcome back. Before the break, we were chatting to embodiments of sheer death and nothingness. So that was a thing. Thank you very much for that, Emma. Yes, and as Trix comes to, I will say to a certain extent, lying in the pool of water, the water, Trix's eyes went black, and the ink started pouring out like Percy's does when Percy casts any shadow magic, and the water was starting to blacken. I think you all would probably have noticed this at a certain point. So I think you'd be doing while Trix is doing this.
Probably high alert in case, yeah.
I just shout, "Oh shit!" and try and pull them out.
Yeah.
Of the pool.
You start pulling Trix out of the pool. Trix, you are insensate at this point because you're in the middle of a conversation with Nothing. Right, and Silver, as you pull Trix out of the water, is anyone else helping?
I am preparing the most powerful holy spell I have in case Trix is possessed in some way or otherwise
Sure.
compromised.
Yep.
I'd like to gently pat them around the face, like, come on, come on.
I think Silver just lefty to it, maybe. This is freaky. I did not know that was what it looked like from this side of it. But let's wait for T to wake up, maybe.
Ash, anything you're doing in particular?
I'm just like waiting. This is probably fine. I know spells can have weird, unexpected effects, and that T was trying to contact the negative energy plane. But I'm basically just waiting and making being ready to act in case something bad happens.
Sure,
but not actually doing it.
T, you come round. You are covered in this sort of strange black inkiness because you have. Are you currently in any kind of?
Presumably, I think I'm just wet.
Yeah.
Silver, why are you hitting my face?
Hell, give me some warning if you're going to do that again. Don't do that to me. And I just hug you.
Okay. Can I hug you back? I mean,
no more surprises today, please.
Did something happen? Just gonna look round.
There's black sort of inky water everywhere.
Oh, did Percy do the eye thing again?
No, you did.
Oh.
Which gives me feelings.
Sure.
What happened?
Well, I sort of went to this place, and there was a cow. And the cow looked at me, deep into the eye, and it said, "Moo." And then I came back.
Insight.
Roll a deception check.
In real life, yeah.
Oh, damn it. I threw that on the floor. 27.
Oh, wow. I only got a dirty 20.
19.
19.
Ash?
19 as well, yeah.
That's weird.
It's extremely weird.
I didn't think that was what would...
Trix is just laughing. T's heads off.
Did it backfire as T sort of got a bit confused?
Okay, no. In all seriousness, there was no cow. Although the looks on your faces... Oh, that was worth it. Right, okay. In reality, I went to the sort of the dark energy place, and the dark energy sphere, the sucking of all energy space. And I met some sort of strange entity. Didn't tell me its name. I should probably have asked that. I could have asked its name. Didn't ask its name. And it told me that, well, in short, they don't actually care about whether they're here or not. They just feel like it's their duty to be anywhere where they can be, where there are things. They should be there and destroy them. And at the moment, they can be here because obviously there are portals, so they should be here and destroy things. And I did explain to them that obviously, if in the end all things end up there and get destroyed anyway, why do they need to speed up being here? And they disagreed with me and said that, well, if they can be here, they should be here to destroy things. And I said, well, feelings are important. And they said, well, feelings aren't important. And we agreed to disagree. And I said, well, I will do everything in my power to destroy you where you exist on this plane, but I'm fine for you to exist in your plane. And we agreed to end the conversation there. And is that clear?
So you asked entropy to stop it?
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose it was worth a shot.
I think what I can conclude from that conversation is that it's really not their fault. If LaRouche wasn't doing what LaRouche is doing, they would be perfectly happy just staying where they are and continuing to do whatever it is that they're doing. But because LaRouche is doing what LaRouche is doing, they are now here. So if we can stop LaRouche, they won't bother us anymore. which is good to know.
And when did the cow turn up?
Okay, the cow was a good lie.
It was very funny.
It was very funny.
Oh, it was humour.
Yes, it was humour.
Right. Could you wave a little flag or something next time so I know when to laugh?
No, because then I won't be able to see your face, but I'll tell you afterwards.
Okay.
I was starting to think that inky blackness was some kind of eldritch manure. Incidentally, Asher, can you clean this up?
I'm not convinced that it isn't.
Excuse me.
I can. I'll prestidigitate
thanks.
it.
Whew. My.
Does it go away?
It does go away if you prestidigitate it. Sorry, you described it as a dark place earlier. Now the dark place theme is playing in my head.
One trick look.
Take you to my dark place.
By the way, Percy, you should probably wash. You've got more, black stuff on you.
What?
You should probably wash off the... It wasn't there before.
Can I inspect my collarbones, please?
It's quite difficult to inspect one's own collarbones, but sure, you look at your own collarbone.
Can I prestidigitate a trinket mirror, little hand mirror?
Sure. There would be mirrors in the bathhouse.
That's better.
You pick up a perfectly placed hand mirror that's on the side.
This is fine.
I'm sure if you wash it, it'll come off.
I am not sure about that. I have a go at washing my tattoo off.
Do you feel any different in yourself?
Nope.
All right then.
Which in itself is worrying.
I'll be honest, there are still so many things that don't make sense to me, and as someone who prides themselves on getting to the bottom of things and understanding human nature, I can see why it might benefit the undead for all life on this plane to extinguish, but I cannot see why Masked wish this to happen. I mean, if anything, it sounds like another god is in the frame.
So Isla said it wasn't all life on this plane, it was all life in Baldur's Gate to stop all life on Baldur's Gate, or on this plane, from ever dying. Sacrifice the city to immortalize the plane.
It's a bit rude, isn't it? What's Baldur's Gate ever done?
It's also... It's also...
After you.
Oh, okay then. It's also playing God. It is deeply disturbing. Even if it wasn't sacrificing the entire city, it is wrong.
Mm-hmm. It's not what that creature said, because that creature said that it wanted more things to destroy. So I think that there's been some miscommunication here, because if that creature gets here, it's not going to be like, well, I've had one city, I'll stop now. That creature wants to destroy everything.
I think Ledouche is playing the concept of entropy as a chump.
Do you remember that story of the very hungry caterpillar?
That one passed me by.
It kept eating things, and it just kept eating things, and it just kept eating things, and I feel like that's what we're dealing with here. Just a very, very hungry caterpillar.
I mean, Silver, I hate to say it. Silver, I think your sibling knows exactly what they're doing, because Ash said that undead could live in this perfectly happily. I am worried that Ledouche has roped in Mascarons and the pitch by telling them it will necrotize this city and save the world, whereas actually it will necrotize everywhere, leaving only undead.
Or they intend to somehow make the others undead. Although this seems strange for vampires who presumably need to feed on the living.
A ruse.
Or derive their foodstuffs from somewhere.
It's true.
Please, go on.
I was just going to ask, do I know if vampires can consume animal blood or anything like that?
Roll me a history check, which is for vampirism in general.
That is a... Ooh, great, I'm proficient in this. So that makes it a 17.
The reason vampires consume blood is because blood contains living energy and they need it to sustain themselves because they are no longer living. If they were infused with negative energy, they'd be getting energy from that. They wouldn't need to feed anymore.
So my understanding is that this whole plan would negate the need for blood and for the living food source.
That's concerning.
So maybe we actually have something to negotiate with. We were talking earlier about a fake negotiation, but actually we have information for the Pitch and the Mascarans that might break up this alliance. They might not believe us, and there might still be a plan for the leaders to get vampired and let the rest of their followers die. They might know this and be fine with it, but there is a version where they didn't know this, will believe us, and we split this up.
Yes.
I think it's fair to say that each of these factions may find their goals adjacent, but that does not mean that they correlate entirely. If we can play them against each other, honestly, that's the only way I can see us getting the amount of power on board and diluting the enemies we face to the point that we might be able to affect a real positive.
I didn't understand any of those words.
Sorry, did you say enemies or enemies?
I heard dilute the enemies.
No, you're not taking it again, Dave. This is the thing that's happening now.
Well, stop with mishearing. I completely misheard the hungry caterpillar eating things. I heard it as yeeting things.
I want to, we'll hear that about later. I'm pretty sure I said enemies, but just with the accent. We'll find out.
I've been fine, but I could see Chris like doing.
Can I ask a quick question because it might be relevant?
Yes.
So I'm trying to think of what the Mascaran's goal might be with this amount of energy. Mm-hmm. In lore, Forgotten Realms lore, as it's understood.
Yep.
Mask is dead.
Correct.
And the purpose of the Circle of the Grey Ribbon is to resurrect Mask.
Correct.
Is it fair to assume that the amount of power in the next...
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right,
Is there a pitch equivalent? Or are they just being duped? Maybe
You don't
we
know.
think.
I mean,
Cool.
you never got to the point of explaining why assassinations happen, which you're starting to piece together anyway.
Yeah.
That'll be what I say next then, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, that seems like a really good plot hook.
Without mentioning enemas or suppositories. Now, just suppository for a second. I do have a theory as to what could be in this for the Church of Mask. There are some very
masks?
quiet with a magic cow and so forth. There are some very clever people at the head of the church, which quite frankly make me look like a dunce in the corner with a cap on. And the Circle of the Grey Ribbon is literally looking to resurrect a god. And the only reason I can think they might want this kind of level of magical power and playing with these forces is to resurrect Mask. And that could be a bad thing, but it could also be something that we can use to our advantage if they don't know what LaRouche is trying to do, or if LaRouche don't know what they're trying to do. Enemy of my enemy can be my friend. Yes, Trix.
Is Mask dead?
To the greatest of our knowledge, yes. That was part of what my role was as a member of the operations team for the Circle of the Grey Ribbon, and they were into some heinous shit, let's put it that way. Yes, Trix.
How do you worship a god who's dead?
There's a lot of complex lore around this, but essentially Mask's portfolio passed into another god. So when we pray as clerics of, well, I'm of course not a cleric of Mask no more, but when I used to pray to Mask, then the divine essence that was Mask was manifested from this particular other deity, and then that gave us the capacity to cast our spells. But you are right, this is a question that a number of clerics and high-ranking members of the church have been asking themselves, because to be perfectly honest, that's our best guess, but we don't know. Yes, Trix.
What happens to the other god if you resurrect Mask? Like, if they've all been praying to this god and then suddenly Mask gets resurrected and they start praying to that god, what happens to the other one?
Well, To be honest, didn't pay too much attention to my books when I was learning because my skills were in another direction, but best of my knowledge, there have been some cataclysmic upheavals over this land in the centuries prior. So, worst case scenario, there's a rift in time and space and horrible things pour through, or let's say the Mistress Weave collapses again, or the land is shrouded in darkness, or there's a cataclysmic event.
As interesting as the impromptu seminar on Thanatotheology is, I feel we have drifted somewhat from our original.
You are correct. Let me give you all these pamphlets, and you can read in your own time if you want to understand the dogma of this particular situation.
But in short, it would be bad.
Well, yeah.
Okay, what do we do next?
Oh, I was really enjoying that. Maybe Aldrin, you can tell me later.
Sure thing. Always happy.
Question that may or may not be related, but seems salient in the least. Silver, was your father a practitioner as far as you were aware?
Magic?
Spellcaster, yes.
Yes, he was.
These these scrolls.
Definitely magical.
Yeah, quite so. And in fact, some of them are rather potent in their applications and have implications that I'm still thinking through. But to give you a summary, one of them is a rather more conventional necromantic spell that we won't delve into just now. But the others are, well, I guess all three of them in some way conform to a singular theme of transferring one's essence at varying degrees and permanencies from one vessel to another.
That sounds
there is
dubious.
There is contained here there is the ability to, for example, temporarily possess another completely, which I think if this is in the fray, if this is the kind of thing that, for example, LaRouche would also have access to or could have access to, this changes how we should conduct ourselves, because beyond the implications of scrying we've already discussed, there is also the implication of rather direct impersonation. But there is also the possibility of a more permanent, creating a whole other body for oneself to pass to when one died. I have no idea if this would apply the same to undead. It is possible your father was merely researching this, which is why these other valuable items were unused, but their very existence in where you found them raises questions, risks maybe.
That is a disturbing theme there, Ashra. If I can, sorry, please. If I can just suggest a slightly more pants-solid implication of what you just said there. All of these spells are to do with the transference of life and essence, correct?
That's correct.
Well, now, let's just say we have a homicidal sociopathic individual.
Blondie, yes.
Yeah, well, whomsoever they may be, and we have a nearly infinite force of magical necrotic energy, yes? You're a mage of some renown. Is it theoretically possible to create a shell with the intention of harnessing that power into oneself?
Kind of terrifying.
You mean transferring all of the negative energy derived from the plane of negative energy into one individual?
It has been known for mortals to ascend to godhood. That's all I'm saying.
Ah. And the role of mask, it seems, is currently vacant.
Well, shit.
I'm not keen on LaDouche becoming a god.
Seems very on brand for them.
Very on brand.
They're already
And
wearing
you know
the
what?
outfit.
You know what? I'm done for the day. I can't handle any more today.
Sleep.
I'm sleeping. You can talk all you want, but I'm out.
You have done enough for the day. You've done more than you should have done. Get some sleep.
Jethro's in the trunk.
Thank you. I go and take Jeffro.
Okay. For the sake of everyone's, again, clarity, you were not being scried on during that conversation.
That's good. That's good.
Okay. Is everyone long resting?
Yeah. Go on, Baldur.
Yeah, there's one thing I might do just before we long rest, just in case. I'm imagining it'll be probably as useful as my divination before, but I've got the spell slot. I might as well try it. I've got the power available. I presume I've been to the graveyard before. Yes.
Tumble down. Yeah, probably.
And in my wanderings around,
Sure.
more out of hope than expectation, I'm going to try to use clairvoyance. I presume that there's an area where the aristocratic crypts are located.
Yeah.
In which case, just kind of in the center of there, and just see if there's anything going on. And this is with sight rather than sound.
Sure. As you create a clairvoyant eye in the cemetery, you appear in the center of a pitched battle. Quite a few, you recognize them now, vampires, mascarons, and pitch members, are in a battle with... You don't recognize them. They're in leathers. They look like humanoids, basically. There is an ongoing battle going on. Quite a few of these graves have been exhumed or look to be empty, and quite a lot of the area around it has been smashed and or damaged. You are sitting literally in the center of this conflict as spells whiz and fly around you, and yeah. It's late night and still extremely foggy, so it's got a very haunting, like you're not quite sure of the surroundings, but there is definitely a pitched battle going on at the moment, forgive the pun.
Well, anything that can see invisibility can see this sensor, but hopefully the fight is such that people are currently distracted.
As you're in the middle of just looking around, a creature will walk up alongside and just suddenly look directly into the sensor, and it's a vampire. It's just a vampire spawn. They'll look in the sensor and just. Run off and keep going what it's doing.
Yeah, I've seen enough. I really don't know what to do with that information.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. Oh, sorry everybody. I just need a second because I don't know whether I would tell everyone now, because I know what Trix would do. Rush headlong into battle. I'm assuming.
If it helps, I was going to climb onto the roof anyway, so.
It's fine. I have to share that information so that we come to a party decision.
Sure.
Because I think keeping it to myself, I don't want to take that level of responsibility onto my shoulders, even as I feel that we're not strong enough to get engaged. And also, like, who the hell are these people in black?
Brown leathers.
Who are these? Can I discern the color at night?
They look
Who
like
are these people in dark leathers?
They look like regular humanoids. Yeah, you'd have no idea who they are.
Yeah. Who's currently awake and around?
Silver's asleep and Trix is on the roof.
Yeah. I don't want to alarm either of you, but I just took a little glance at the graveyard in the aristocratic crypt section. There is a full-pitched battle going on right now between our adversaries and a group that I do not recognize dressed in dark leathers. I had to bring this to y'all's attention, but it don't sound good to me.
There's nothing we can do about it now, surely. Silver needs rest, Trix is somewhere. I need to sleep. And by the time we get there, they'll be long gone.
I do suggest that we take the time to investigate that once we are at a greater level of preparedness.
In the daylight, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Could you find those people again? The people who might be on our side?
Now that I've seen them, I can put the word out.
Okay.
And actually, that does make a lot of sense. I'm just going to cast one more spell and let the people know who might be able to find out some more information. We'll see what the light of day brings. Hopefully more clarity. quick sending to Callister, and basically pitch battle in the graveyard. Enemies, known enemies against people in brown leather. Find out what you can. Be careful.
If it's the graveyard, it's probably the Gravemakers. That's the local guild around there. But yeah, I'll take a look. Hope you're well.
Might be something called the Gravemakers. Guild around that part, but
they don't like people messing with the bodies.
That tracks.
Well, who wants first watch?
I can.
Taking a watch
All
on the
right.
roof.
Yeah.
I will be up a little longer as well, I think.
And if y'all don't mind, I'm gonna bed down for the night.
Aldrin, do you have any energy left for one last spell? You offered before.
What you need?
Could you tell my sister we're safe and alive?
Sure thing.
If that's okay.
It's no problem at all.
Thanks. Tell her I love her.
Of course.
Don't tell her anything that happened today. She doesn't need to know.
No problem at all. I will cast the spell once again. This time I will say it out loud so that Percy can hear what's being said. Your sister asked me to let you know we're all fine. She loves you. Hope you're okay. Stay safe and well. Kisses.
Who are you? And why are you sending me about my sister? I mean, fine, thank you. I'm bored. Had to go to a class yesterday about how to eat with a knife and fork properly. I wish I were dead.
She says she loves you too. And is looking forward to seeing you real soon.
Is she ill?
Perhaps there was sarcasm. You can't really tell
Okay,
tone from
that's
mind words.
Cool. Thank you, Aldrin.
No problem at all. Now I'm just gonna find myself a nice place to snooze.
You can't really tell tone from mind words. Percy, Ash, you're staying up. You have something to discuss, I believe.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how we're going to broach it, but
Should we go to Trix first?
that's basically every
We can
conversation.
go to Trix first.
Yeah.
Trix also on
Can
the
we?
roof.
Never mind.
Yeah? What would you prefer?
Either way.
Go for it.
Cool. Trix, you're on the roof.
Just fresh air. It was a long day.
Hmm?
Just lying on the roof, looking at the stars. Can you see the stars? It's probably too bright.
It's not too bright, it's too dark. And too cloudy. There's almost always fog in Baldur's Gate. It's very hard to see stars.
Not doing anything in particular. I'm just like, I just don't want to be inside.
Did you want something? A cat curls around your feet.
Oh, not in particular, although I guess maybe talk to someone who understands, who knows, maybe?
Well, that is a peculiar request. I suppose I understand a few things.
I suppose I could elaborate and then you'd know what I was talking about.
That would help this conversation flow, yes.
Yes, no one I'm currently travelling with knows what happened, so I was hoping to just, talk to someone who did know what happened and then you would, say something nice and then it would feel better,
Why haven't you told your travelling companions about what happened? They would understand you better.
It's not the kind of thing one brings up in polite conversation.
I can see what you're doing, and
Just
your travelling companions, I don't think they're that bothered by politesse.
I know, but it brings people down. You don't just go around being like, yeah,
Your best friend's father was killed today.
Yeah, and today would be the worst day to tell her.
Would it? Surely an explanation, an understanding, a shared grief would go far further.
Got enough on her shoulders today.
If you say so.
Also, like, you know, it's a pretty big bombshell. You know, I don't want to have to deal with that today when, you know, she's already just lost her family. I don't want her to be like, oh God, now I have to work through your shit too.
Sharing in tragedy together may help both of you in that scenario.
Or just make both of us feel bad. Yay.
You also have other friends who do not have the same tragedies in their past, as far as I am aware.
Yeah.
Other ones, for definite. There's a lot of energy floating around this group, definitely. But
did you see the thing with the, like, weird black thing as
Yes.
well? That was weird. Just normal for you, just another day.
not so much. I'm aware of their existence, and it is unnerving. But in the same vein, we live in a world where concepts have names, faces, personas.
Like you.
Very much like me.
That negative energy thing in the basement,
Sure.
that was quite bad. Like vampires are fine. Vampires are dealable with. That was not dealable.
One of the nice things about our universe is that everything, because it has a name and a face, is dealable with. Abstract concepts and strange thoughts and terrible ideas are destructible because they exist.
Was that supposed to be followable? Could you say it in shorter words, or maybe like a shorter sentence?
If it has a name, you can kill it, Trix.
Does it have a name?
It does.
Do you know it? Do you know the name of the person who killed my family?
Yes.
You said you didn't last time.
Correct.
Do you only know what I know?
No, I know a lot more than you know. I also don't want to, overload you. And frankly, you hunting out vampires to find another vampire means you serve my purpose as well as your own, which you sometimes pull away from.
Don't think there's going to be a lot of vampire killing for the next few days. I think there's going to be a lot of, like, dark, shadowy things.
In the end, in this case, they are all the same thing.
Okay. You saw me talk to the thing. You understand that not everything is the same and that matters. You can't just be like, in the end, everything is the same. That's not how it works. You can't just
misunderstand my point. By the vampires allying themselves with this assassin order, and by the assassin order and this group of priests allying themselves, they're all doing the same thing.
Okay. Let's just get one thing clear here. Not all of the vampires have allied themselves. LaRouche has allied themselves, and LaRouche leads some of vampire kin, but that is not all vampires. You can't just go, all vampires now are evil.
It's not an easy point to debate with you because you see things in different terms than I do. The existence of vampires is an abomination, a blot.
Yes, but some people would say that the existence of magical cats is a blot, so, you know.
Well, I don't like those people very much.
Yes. The vampires probably don't like you very much.
No, I suppose not. Food for thought.
Could you say something nice now so that I don't feel as bad, rather than this whole conversation which just made me feel terrible? you did really well today, or I'm going to give you a really nice present, or here is a rat, you could eat it, or, just something nice.
You have the power to defeat this?
It's not bad, actually.
If this... Oh.
Or was it going to be useful?
I don't know now.
I don't know either. Say it anyway, it's fine.
If this negative energy being does make its way into the material plane, you can punch it.
Alright.
And it will hurt.
You to ruin it. Just shh. Wait, no, it will hurt or I will hurt? The punching will hurt or it will hurt? Oh, okay, that was better than I thought it was.
It can be destroyed, yes.
You should be more careful with your words. Because the punching does hurt, actually.
I'm sorry, I'm a talking cat.
I mean, that's what you like to pretend. You're gonna say meow now, aren't you?
Well, not now. Do not be disheartened by things that seem bigger than you.
Nothing's bigger than me, I'm enormous.
And you can punch things. Problem shared is a problem halved, Trix. Well, depending on how many you share it with, it may be a problem divided into 5.
Fifth. I'm not going to say that word, but that word is what I mean. And I think we should probably just sit on this roof now.
Well, I'm going to go find some rats to eat. And the cat curls and jumps off the roof.
I'm hungry now.
Ashra, Percy, what were you discussing?
Percy has been sitting using the mirror and just running her fingers over the spread tattoo, and her fingers are kind of just in a world of her own.
If I had to guess, I'd say that you absorbed some of the energy from the plane or the creature, hence the spread.
That is certainly what it felt like.
How does it feel now?
Physically or emotionally?
Both.
Fine. Physically, I feel powerful. I mean, I could use some sleep. I'm still feeling a bit rough, but... Did you know? Did you know my thing was that thing?
If I thought about it harder, I could probably have guessed.
I have no idea.
Worked with negative energy in a way with my former profession.
I don't know how I missed it. Like, there was the tattooing ritual was a whole, like, here's a living, tangible pool of darkness. Let it absorb itself into your bloodstream, and I kind of just went, yeah, that sounds normal. It's just like the darkness, but sentient. It's just, I'm good at dark thing. I didn't... How stupid can you be as a person to now have spent the last few days chasing this and not once being like, oh, look. By you, I mean me. You aren't stupid. I mean me. I am stupid.
No, I understand. It's things that are part of our past can feel immutable. We cease to question them. We cease to analyze them, and we can miss things.
I need to get it out.
The tattoo?
I can't fight this thing if I am this thing.
Okay. I will admit I don't know where to start, but we can figure this out.
I also don't know if I should. Like, I can't stand that it's here, but it also makes me better at fighting them. And if I get rid of it, then I am just someone who did a whole bunch of martial arts training and I can hit things. I don't have any for a superpowered, and if I take it, then I'm also just like, I'm here, I'm Aspen. You'd be having Artie with you. That's what I would become. I can't do that.
If there's one thing I've learnt in the last few months with you, it's that it is possible to reinvent oneself. I'm not saying it will be trivial, but if you want this gone...
to do it the first time, I don't know I can do it again.
Well, just take your hand. If it's what you want, you'll find it again. We'll find it.
Maybe we could talk to Aldrin. When he did the magic, the holy magic, it worked really well. Maybe he knows someone who can... I don't know, maybe it feels... If this thing is so evil, it feels like a holy person is the one to take it out.
You can't hurt to have Aldrin take a look. I can make a quick examination just to be sure there's been no immediate change from the contact with the creature. If we encounter another being of pure negative energy, perhaps avoid taking as much on yourself.
If I hadn't, it would have killed at least one of the others.
Notwithstanding, you did not look great by the end. You looked, well, about 100.
Rich coming from you.
Ha ha. But...
Yeah, no, it wasn't fun.
I will try not to let that happen to you. No, I will try to help that not happen to you again.
Are you going to suddenly start worshipping Timora as well?
Nothing that drastic.
I mean, you're impressive in multiple ways, but healing is not really your wheelhouse.
I have some theories. Some of the items we found in the stronghold may be suitable here, but we will cross that bridge when we need it.
No. You are a teacher at heart. You love explaining things. The only reason you wouldn't explain this in immense, boring, painful detail is because it's bad and you know I won't like it. Tell me.
Damn. I believe I can use one of these spells to, in times of extremis, scour my physical self to heal others temporarily. It's one of the life transference effects we spoke of before.
Scour?
Yes.
That means to scrub really hard.
Yes, I'm not implying it would be without discomfort for me.
You are saying you would hurt yourself, and the amount you hurt yourself would heal me.
More than, in fact. It's remarkably efficient.
Absolutely not.
If it gets to the point things were earlier, I think it's better. I was completely unscathed. If I can give something within reason, of course. No, I understand your concern. I'm not suggesting I sacrifice myself.
See, that's my worry. The idea of you being really healthy and with all your amazing magical extra things and me being basically dead, that sounds great. I'm here for that. But I know you, and I am worried that if it came down to a choice between one of us, you would do the stupid, noble, sacrificial.
I would do the smart thing. I don't know what that is yet, because it'll be context dependent. But imagine you had this.
The smart thing would always be to save you. I would use it. The smart thing is always saving you.
If you had this power, and it were me, as you were earlier, would you use it?
For you, yes, but that's different. You're you.
I feel like I'm not getting through to you here on this particular point, but...
I mean, I see your point. I am refusing to accept it. But, yes, point taken, just denied.
There's something else. I produce quite a plain ring, as plain as I can possibly make it. Unless I'm like this. It's actually a pair of them. There is another spell that can help temporarily. Just a defensive measure. You look startled.
You are holding a ring?
Oh, no, they're a pair of material components that allow transference of energy for the spell. Yeah, you see the runes carved here? Yes, no, please don't. But they could help. I'd rather have this conversation now than in the middle of a.
Can you just clarify which of the two possible conversations we could be having right now? Which one are we having?
in a situation where we are in a fight,
right?
A melee. We can wear these, and I can use magic to protect both of us better.
And this is in no way euphemism. This is a magical tool.
I can see where the confusion would come from.
No, it's fine. It's totally fine.
It wasn't. And it is a spell that I can cast.
Would it hurt you again?
No.
Are you telling the truth?
No.
I'm going to roll a deception roll. That's a 24.
Oh, I have to roll really, really high to beat that. Okay, I need to roll a 17 or that's 25!
I'm not being entirely. It will not hurt me in the way the other one will, and it's not active, but it's not like without. It does. I'm being less than honest, less than forthright. Out of the two of us, who is the one who gets hit a lot?
That depends. Are your skeletons here or not?
No.
Yeah, then me.
The last few fights we've been in, the only danger I've been in is from aura effects, other things like that. It's smart.
Well, if you offering me a ring is the smart thing for you to do after lots of clinical, emotionless analysis, then of course. Thank you.
I will wear mine as well. But we will figure this out.
Mm-hmm.
We can. We'll make it work.
Yep. Again, if I turn into as useless as Artie, then I'll be benched anyway, so there's no point.
I find
it's
it
been
unlikely.
Great chat. Thanks, Ash.
Rest up. I think we all need sleep.
You should. I'll take the watch. Go to sleep. Go on.
Wake me when you're done.
I will.
I'll go to sleep. Probably. Maximum awkward.
So many other ways I could have gone.
Yeah.
Trix, do you go back inside?
Nope.
Stay on the roof?
Yep.
You rest on the roof?
I only need 4 hours of sleep, so...
Still on a roof?
I don't know. The enclosed space seems just enclosed.
Fine. In which case
Especially right now.
I'm debating whether I want to try and go into someone's dreams.
Interesting. Okay.
Because after an hour I could.
Yes.
I think I will... Sorry, would you prefer me not to?
No, it's fine.
I think I might go chat to Aradine. Is Aradine asleep?
No.
I'd probably try. Mm-hmm. But Aradine's not asleep.
No, they're not.
Who else do I know?
Look, I'm going to have Aradine sending either you or Aldrin, and you're awake, so I think it makes sense that Aradine would now give you a sending, because they are awake.
Can I go see the drippy person from the party?
Can you go see the drippy person from the party? I don't know what?
The person who wrote the note. The really shitty note.
Alistair.
Alistair?
Yes.
You want to go into Alistair's dreams?
Yes, please.
Sure. You concentrate, and once again, you've done this before now. As you know, you haven't done it. You've done it for other people, but you've not gone.
I haven't been.
No?
Well, I presumably have been into other people's dreams, but
presumably, yes.
Not in this campaign.
But yes, you step as you do into the dreams, and Alistair Bormal is riding a horse through a field.
Oh, it's adorable.
It's a beautiful Palomino.
Can I join? Also on a horse?
Sure.
Next to him?
Sure.
Hello.
Hello?
It's a very nice horse.
Who are you?
My name is Trix. You're Alistair. You should know that.
Yes. Hello.
Welcome to your dream.
What?
You're asleep.
I am?
Well, no, you're on a horse. This is...
I'm sorry, you've lost me a little. What?
Oh,
Pulls the horse up. What are you talking about?
You're asleep and you're currently processing everything that's happened today, and your brain is just working over everything that you need to do tomorrow, and could you just recite it for me while I think about it? Can I roll a persuasion check?
Sure, I was rolling intelligence checks to make sure I understood that. He did not.
I rolled a 22.
I mean, I don't know what you're talking about, but
I'm your assistant. We're making your diary for tomorrow. What exactly is it that you need to do tomorrow?
Well, I'm getting up.
Yes, and then we're getting dressed, yes?
Yes. No plans, really. I go to the art gallery.
Right, we don't need to see anybody, no appointments?
No.
We don't need to get all those corpses out of your basement again?
No, they're long gone.
Oh, where did we put them? I need to make a note of it.
Well, LaRouche took them.
Oh, where did they take them?
Well, I don't know, I didn't ask.
Oh.
It's all bodies and stuff. What use are they to me?
Oh,
LaRouche wanted bodies, I said have some bodies. You know.
that's a very good point. Did they say what they wanted them for? Just making notes so that we remember.
There was all this gloom nonsense thing.
Right.
You know. Sounded very ominous. I made a note. Couldn't find it.
Did they say anything beyond just ominous and gloom? I'll make that note for us again.
They were talking about working with priests of Mask, which, you know, not tickety-boo, but I understand. And some group of I mean, apparently the pitch are real, and they're working with them too to do this gloom thing.
Gosh, well, tomorrow, because we've had this conversation, you'll remember this perfectly because I am an excellent assistant. So you'll be able to write that note again.
Oh, is this some sort of magical thing? Have I now got a dream assistant?
Yes, you have a dream assistant.
Righto.
Enjoy your sleep. Enjoy your horse ride, I mean.
Looks around. Am I dreaming right now?
Yes, would you like something else to happen?
Can I have anything?
Absolutely.
Chocolate?
And make chocolate appear?
This is amazing. Can I have more chocolate?
I make a heap of chocolate appear.
That is a lot of chocolate.
I will leave you to it.
Could it not be on a field with horses?
What would you prefer it to be on?
I don't know.
A plate?
A big plate. A lot of chocolate.
A sort of chocolate jacuzzi? I fade out of existence as I leave Alistair in a chocolate jacuzzi. And hope that he thinks that I was a figment of his imagination when he wakes up tomorrow with a perfect memory of what we wrote down.
Alistair rolled a pretty decent intelligence check. Alistair is going to remember that conversation and think that he now has a dream assistant. Must be a gift from Mother.
If it's okay, Percy has spent the 2 hours of her watch feeling deeply miserable about how that conversation went.
Yeah.
And so when it's time to wake Ash up, she will wake Ash up very gently and go, I'm sorry. I just thought you were doing something that you weren't, and it would have been stupid for you to do anyway. I just got my wires crossed, and it was all a bit weird. Thank you. It's a really nice ring. It's a really good idea. Please don't kill yourself trying to save me, but I really appreciate it. And I love you.
You too, and I suppose I could have thought things through a little better, but yes, I mean, it's a spell component, but please, you can think of it as a gift if you prefer.
Next time you open a little jewelry box, could you preface it either with, this is a spell component, it has to be in this shape, but it means nothing beyond magic, or this is a gift for you because I care about it and it has normal conventional symbolism behind it.
Can it be both? Because
yes,
it is a
that
spell
would
component,
also...
but the second thing is also true.
But it doesn't have the normal conventional symbolism behind it that giving your partner a ring usually would, Ashra.
It is a gift of jewelry that has no specific socio-cultural significance and is a spell component because I care about you.
Yeah.
How did you end up having this conversation again?
That would have been a really helpful thing to preface the box with. Next time?
Next should yes, no, of course.
Okay, so a lot has happened today. Like we saw Isla like this afternoon. It's been a long day. I'm gonna sleep now.
It's my watch then.
Yes, please.
Sorry, Chris, I interrupted you when you were talking about Aradine because I really wanted to cast Dream on someone, but I enjoyed the chocolate jacuzzi, so...
I mean, I really enjoyed having that conversation again where someone else flailed and went, his parachute's a rucksack. Yes, as you finish your dream, you do get a sending from Aradine. Well, I have no idea what you've done, but... whatever hornet's nest you've kicked is boiling over. Pretty sharpish. Can you meet? I'm in Tumbledown. We can meet outside the cliff gate if it's easier.
How far is it to Tumbledown, Chris?
Other side of the city.
How many 60-foot teleportations would it take me to get there? I have 1 minute.
You couldn't because it has to go around the bay. It's a city. We're talking a couple hours travel.
And in 60 feet teleportation?
You couldn't do it.
Okay. Currently at... where are we?
You're at the Hissing Stones in... what is that part of Baldur's Gate called? That part of Baldur's Gate on the far western side is called...
Oh wait, no, I can fly. I can fly for 10 minutes.
It wouldn't get you across the bay. Baldur's Gate is huge, it's a city.
10 minutes of flying at 60 feet?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
It's miles across.
60 feet around? 60 feet every 6 seconds?
Right, do some maths.
No one will be seated during the maths portion of the stream.
Okay, so that distance is roughly... I can't do miles to feet. What's miles to feet?
Some. Lots.
Oh, God.
Why can they not just use metrics like normal people?
Because they're American.
How many feet in a mile?
Right, it's 360...
5,280 feet to a mile.
Okay.
It's 360 feet every...
60 times...
60 times 10. It's not enough. You wouldn't be able to fly there.
Take you 14 minutes and 40 seconds.
60 times 10 times 10, right?
Yeah.
To do a mile.
Yeah, which you can't do. It's too far away.
6,000...
Yeah. If you go 60 feet every 6 seconds, that means you're going 3,000...
Wait, I could dash, so I'd go 120.
Ah, then you could get there in 7 minutes.
Isn't that travel a mile in 7 minutes, or is it?
Yeah.
Do you
But
want...
he's further than they're further than a mile away.
They're about a mile away, I just checked.
That's still...
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Do you want me to bring other people? Or should I come alone? Can be there in 7 minutes. Alone.
Ah, I see the problem. Probably best if you all come. It affects all of you now. This is your little group of friends, right?
Yes. They're sleeping. How near to dawn is it?
About 2-3 hours away.
Will you still be there in 2 hours?
Well, I'm going to be here for quite some time now.
Alright. Stay away from anything that looks inky. And stay safe. We'll be there soon.
Too late for that, but I'll stay safe.
What has happened to Parody?
That was not reassuring.
There is no reply.
I mean, I could still fly there.
You could.
They said not to, but I really want to. I won't get a long rest though. I will stay.
Okay.
But I could.
If you all complete your long rest, then you would all be waking up and ready to go as dawn is breaking, because about the right sort of time frame. Yes, Stuart?
Why did you say if? That's very ominous. Like, if you all complete. Okay, no. But have we?
Because Emma might still fly and see Aradine. I know Em. I live with Em. I'm waiting for Em to go. No, I went. I changed my mind.
I don't want to go and have a conversation without everyone that involves everyone. Like, that feels really like anti-party.
Cool. Then in which case,
click the button.
You can click the button if you like. It's
Click
fine.
the button.
Fly on the wings of love.
Decipher my notes for what spells I'm
Just
trying.
before I think everyone else would wake up, I want to like sneak back in and just wake up Silver.
You can do that. It's fine.
Wake up. Wake up.
What now? Has there been another cataclysmic event and another emotional roller coaster that's happened?
Silver, it's like 5, 6 a.m. It is too early.
Why are you doing this to me? I've had a bad enough day.
I mean, yes, but can we talk before like everyone else like wakes up and we have to go see Aradine at the cemetery?
Oh god, we've got to go and see Aradine. Oh my god. Okay,
I shouldn't have told you that.
Oh, it's okay. It's gonna be a hell of a week. Let's have a chat. What's up?
Can we go outside?
Oh yeah, sure. Let's go. I take the cuddly Jeffro with me.
You can climb onto the roof, because Silver has spider climb and Trix climbs onto roofs all the time, so there you go. The sun is rising, you can just see it cresting over the top. Silver, it still stings a little, but you don't hate it.
You know yesterday when I was like, oh, I'll tell you tomorrow, and then it was a bit cryptic and weird?
Oh, about Blondie.
Yeah. It's a shit name, isn't it?
It's a little anticlimactic.
Yeah. It'd be a better band name, to be honest.
Ooh. We'll make it out of this. We can start that band.
Maybe.
Can't say.
I didn't like set out to be a vampire hunter. Like that wasn't like the plan. I wasn't like a little child going around being like, maybe I'll go and like stake vampires one day. Like there wasn't like a life goal. I was just like a normal elf who lived in a house with my family and had a partner. And I went away for work for a bit and came back and they were all dead. All of them, apart from my fiance, who was not dead, but not alive either.
Undead?
Yeah, but not like you are. Not like with it. Not happy. Not able to control it, and. She'd kill half the town, Silver. It was awful.
I am so sorry, T. Here, you take Jeffro. Take Jeffro. You hug Jeffro, and I'll hug you. And then when this is over, I'm guessing it's Blondie.
Yeah, He was...
When this is over, we're gonna fuck them up.
Yeah. I've been looking for him ever since I found him once, but I wasn't strong enough. He did kill me, and that's when this happened, and it's when I made the deal with the cat, and the cat's been kind of keeping me on the go ever since. But
The cat?
did I not mention the cat?
I've just kind of assumed you'd tell me when you were ready, to be perfectly honest.
Sure. Right, there's this cat that hates vampires, and when they sort of brought me back to life, they were like, well, now you could just maybe kill some vampires and it'd be fine. And at the time, I just hated. But I know that's not the case. I know that it's not alright to hate every vampire.
To be fair, some vampires are absolute pricks.
I'm really trying to get that across to the cat, and the cat is really resisting that message, but I'm trying really, really hard.
I just want to acknowledge, I really appreciate you telling me this, and I think you are so strong for still having me as a friend and not letting your hatred and your trauma overcome you. And it's honestly, it's so inspiring, T. It really is.
I forgot how young you are. Thank you. But we're doing alright, you and me. I'll kind of nudge you with the elbow. We'll be alright.
And nudge back. Yeah, we'll be okay. As long as that Gloom state doesn't happen. It'll work out.
Yeah, we've got shit to do. Need to go. Ardeen said we need to go to the graveyard. There's something...
Oh, for fuck's sake, yeah.
What do you not like about Ardeen?
It's just, their vibe.
Sure.
If that makes sense. It's just their face, with their eyes, and a nose.
Okay. You could just keep your eyes closed.
I'll give it a go. It's the voice.
That's not going to help.
Look, I'll just be in the background. I'll let you do your thing. I'll just kind of be floating around. I'll try not to make any rude hand gestures.
I mean, they might find that quite amusing, but you probably wouldn't want that.
That'll just take me on. Okay.
Right, let's
Cool.
go. Wake up all the others. Maybe by pouring water on them? Although that might be...
I love it. Let's go.
If you are not awake, I probably will pour water on you. Just like a little bit.
I love
Yep.
I'm awake.
I reflexively cast Word of Radiance. Runner attack!
Just water, Aldrin. Might even be holy.
Will be if I bless it.
We need to go to the graveyard. Now.
How many times, Trix? We're not doing that.
Oh, no, I got a call from Aradine and we need to go to the graveyard now. They're there waiting for us.
Before we do, I need to inform the two of you that I didn't speak to last night about what we might find there. I checked in and there was a huge battle going on between Pitch Mascarons, all of our adversaries, and we think the grave... Is it grave keepers or grave tenders?
Grave makers.
The grave makers and the grave makers. So we might be going into a scene of some destruction.
Aradine would
what
have
I'm saying.
said if there was any fighting still going on, so we're probably right on that front.
Did they sound fine?
I mean, they did say that it was all right to wait and that I didn't need to fly over immediately. So, that's a thing. Because I could have gone. I decided to wait for you all, but I could have gone 3 hours ago. But I didn't. So
Appreciated.
Thank you for your restraint.
We could go now, though, if Jethro could fly 2 of you and I can fly the other 3 of us.
Not to be the patron saint of paranoia, but we do know that vampires are capable of charming people to their will. I suggest that we do go, but we go in such a way that we are careful, because until we know that somebody is on our side, even someone that means as much to you and I, Trix, we have to assume that there is a possibility they may have been compromised, and we barely got out of the last trap alive.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all right then. If y'all want, I can ask some questions of my god before we go, but if you'd rather, I could even ask if we're going into a trap, right?
How long will that take?
Well, that'll take... Let me just check.
It's 10 minutes, huh?
I think it's 10 minutes, yeah.
Yep.
11 minutes, too.
Right.
And then an extra minute. That'll take about 12 minutes all told. It could be 12 minutes difference between life and death, that's all I'm saying.
For us or for Aradine?
If
Well,
they've
exactly.
waited 3 hours, then 12 minutes can't hurt.
If y'all do me the favor of watching my back while I prepare these dice, is there anything in particular that you want me to ask other than is Aradine okay and are we headed into a trap?
If you have a spare question, it would be really helpful to know if the pitch know what they've signed up for, if they are being manipulated, because that could be the difference between, like, ripping that alliance in half or not.
Mm-hmm. If you would like me to phrase that to include the Church of Mask, I can do so. But if you'd rather just know about the pitch, I can ask that. There's no problem at all.
That one's up to you. You know more about them than I do.
Well, all right then. If y'all don't mind, I'll just get on with casting this here spell.
In the meantime, we might ask if we can leave the trunk here for storage, so we don't have to take it with us. I think that would be sensible.
Silver, how are you doing?
Yeah, it's been a tough 24 hours, to say the least. I feel like I have a tragic backstory now, and I'm really done with all of this. But the only way out is through. Let's just keep going. Just poke me if I look like I need a poke.
Okay.
I'll do a quick insight on whether Silver is putting on a brave front, and there's more going on behind that.
Go. Yeah.
Coolio. Because I think being aware of how one's companions are doing is a big one. It's a 17.
Yeah. I think you get a sense that there is a bit more going on. Like, she's very conflicted and hasn't got it all figured out, and is just kind of shutting it down a little bit for practicality.
And just file that away and basically be keeping an eye on Silver to see how she's doing. I mean, it makes sense that would be the case given the traumatic events, but given your Silver's relative youth, I think just keeping an eye to make sure that everything remains, manageable.
Right.
Aldrin, would you have a spare question?
3 questions, all I get, I'm afraid. There are other spells I can try, but I do imagine that these are the most pertinent for our immediate
No, the
situation.
other one's a personal thing. I will ask you rather than your god later.
No problem at all.
Aldrin, you prepare commune, as you usually do, your circle of dice. Everyone, I think, waiting on you is probably a bit much, but sort of pottering, getting ready, probably going back to the lockers and getting their things, that's all fine to do. Yeah.
Storing the trunk.
Storing the trunk, which is totally fine, obviously. No, lug a trunk around the rest of the adventure. Mwahaha! Aldrin, you sat in this room in the bathhouse as you sit there casting a Loxodon, an elephant person, is perched on one of the wooden benches in a very small towel. Well, this is a new environment.
Well, this is a new look, and may I say, I enjoy you and all of your abject manifestations.
Good.
I'm gonna start with some information you may not have before I get into the questions. Now, we have ascertained there is a chance that people are trying to harness the negative plane of energy to either steal Mask's portfolio or possibly ascend to godhood themselves. Now, that one's for free. You want to give me an extra question? That's up to you.
I mean, I was already aware of that, but
you never know. If anyone can fool a god, it's another god. Are we heading into a trap if we go to the graveyard right now?
No.
All right then. Has Eridine been compromised by the enemy?
Difficult one to answer with a yes or no, that one. Not specifically.
And, all right. Finally, do the pitch know what LaRouche is trying to do? Or more specifically, if the pitch knew what LaRouche is trying to do, could we try to get them on our side?
Like all alliances, this is one fraught with misinformation. See what you do.
All right then, thank you.
You asked for a fourth question.
Is Mask alive?
There's no easy answer to that question, Aldrin. Are gods ever truly dead? Does Mask want something from all this endeavor? Of course he does. Is there something he could gain from this endeavor? Of course there is. But I don't think anyone really knows quite the depths that your vampire villain has sunk to.
Well, that suggests to me that we're on the right lines.
Close enough for now.
I'll be seeing y'all soon.
Indeed you will. Lovely. And that's where we'll end for today, with all your information ready and travelling across the city to Tumbledown and the next stage of our adventure. Well, everyone good? How's everyone doing? Big old information gathering sesh tonight, but lots and lots of valuable things uncovered and new information given. Hopefully we can dig that in for next time and see if we can unravel this chain. But in the meantime, we must depart for tonight. Thank you very much for joining us, everybody, including all those in the audience and in chat. Thank you so much for being part of it. We play every Monday night, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. GMT, and that is 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Pacific, and all times in between. We'll be playing Gloom Falls. Next episode marks our halfway point. Halfway through Gloom Falls by the next episode, and then we'll be playing on until about mid-June, when another 12-part campaign will follow. We've just launched a new campaign on Tuesdays. I believe that starts tomorrow, which is Niall Ishak, who is one of our players, is DMing a game, Escape from Carceri, with some plane-hopping machinations and wolf player characters and other strangeness. So do check that out tomorrow at 7 p.m. GMT, and that runs until... times 7 p.m. GMT till 10 p.m. GMT, which is 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. Pacific time, and all times in between. There we go. We also have a new show we just launched. You've probably seen a couple of the interviews with some of the people here. George and Rebecca and Evie have all done their interviews for Talk Together, and there will be more coming with more of our player base and some other friendly faces you may have heard of joining us for Talk Together in the next couple of weeks. That's on Saturdays at 6 p.m. GMT, which is 10 a.m. PT, again, and that runs for an hour, hosted by the wonderful David. Yes. So join us for all of those shows. Everything we do is streamed at twitch.tv/rolltogetherrpg, and you can find all of our shows archived at youtube.com/rolltogetherrpg. There's also podcast versions of all our shows available. Just search Roll Together RPG in your favourite podcasting app, and join us on social media. Again, we're Roll Together RPG basically everywhere, to find out more about where those shows are on, where you can find download links, all the rest of it. It's all there. Social media is the best way to get in touch with us as well. Again, a huge thank you to our D20 Club on Patreon. Thank you for being our patrons and for helping us do all the things that we do. Please join our Dice Heads if you can. It's just £1 or $1 if you want to be part of a group of people who find out more about what we're doing before we tell anyone else. So that can all be found on our Patreon, which again, linked in chat. Massive thanks again to our sponsors, Hero Forge, Ultra Pro, Elderwood Academy, and our supporters, D&D Beyond, Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, Warriors of Waterdeep, and Level Up Dice. You've probably got just a couple more seconds if you want to pop into chat and just say hi for the Ultra Pro giveaway, where it's a random draw, and the Elderwood Academy construction link will still be there if you want to build a lovely dice, I presume box is some sort of dice thing from Elderwood for EV/Silver, or both. Hopefully we've got some lovely ones there we can start looking through and get sent out as soon as possible. Anyway, that's it from us. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for engaging. And we'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.